That I'm guessing your roommate.
Yeah. Greetings, cyberspace. It is I, Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch. And I know I said I was taking a break from hosting for a little while, which I still am, but it's Thanksgiving. So we're doing a special Happy Turkey Day, Gobble till you wobble. And I have a few friends with me. I have, let's see here, let's start from my left. We have my Mr. B, which he seems to be muted, which means he's probably grabbing another beer.
Or driving.
You better not be fucking driving.
He's got it in third right now. He's taking hairpin turns.
We have the mysterious Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, hello, America. Happy Thanksgiving.
We have Estrada. How do you pronounce it?
Maestra.
Maestra.
Hello.
Gobble, gobble. We have the Pops Toxic.
What's up? Man,
And we
dude,
have...
I forgot to fucking mute the stream, so I was getting an echo. That took me a second to figure out. Holy shit.
I know how that is. And we have, of course, the Scooby331. He is so Scoobalicious.
Hey. Greeting from the land of the pilgrims.
Is it Plymouth Rock and what, Boston?
It's actually in New England. It's in Massachusetts, Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Long Island was also a very large colony of those folks. Believe me, I've been out to Old Bethpage, where they still have the 17th century dwellings and housings and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, there was we were the second colony. They were actually supposed to land here, but because of the weather, they landed in Massachusetts instead.
And I apologize to all my listeners for the screaming child and screaming mother in the background. Issues. We'll just say issues. So, Scooby, continue with the history lesson. I'm going to mute myself for a minute.
All good. No, we had the pilgrims come out here. Like a lot of the neighborhoods in this area, you have names like Sachem, Massapequa. You have like all these. You have Hopog, you have Patchogue, you have Cutchogue. There's a lot of areas out here that were really like just full of the natives, for lack of a better term. Most of New York, actually, it was very big native territory. Mohawk Nation, Iroquois Nation, Algonquins. Basically, New York, I think there were more Native American tribes in New York than the rest of the Northeast, if I'm not mistaken. I guess because you had all the different ranges upstate by, again, another Indian name, Cayuga, or Cayuga was another one, Oneonta. That's over by the Adirondacks and the Catskills. So all the mountain ranges were just... I hate saying it like this. It just sounds so bad. Yeah, they were full of natives, but, the mountains were full of these folks. They all lived up there. And they would come down here. It's kind of ironic. They really didn't inhabit a lot of the coastal areas around here. They called it like no man's land. And which was ironic because the Dutch settlers, when they came here, they considered it a godsend because the cattails that the natives had no use for were ideal, that they fed them to their oxen. So this area was
got that a lot around here. We had over here we had a lot of Cherokee tribes up here, and they said the same thing about this area. Was that it was they didn't like it here. They wouldn't go. They said it was painted, basically. I don't know how the fuck the savages put it, but they would not come into most of northern Kentucky and southern Ohio for some reason.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of ironic where a lot of the settlers wound up. That's why they wound up there. The natives had no use for the land. They didn't utilize it.
I think it was the weather, because
there's that too.
Most of the state of New York, I mean, the winters are fucking insanely brutal, right? With like weeks worth of snow, all the shit coming down from Leafland. And then coming across the sea. And over here, you just never know what the weather's going to do from season to season. You could have a winter where it's nonstop ice storms, or you could have a winter where it's basically fall, an extra fall season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's like out here. Yeah, I'm out in Kansas, and I mean, today was 70 degrees. We haven't had a Thanksgiving this warm in decades, and it's just another fucking year because like this winter is going to be real light. It seems. We have a very similar kind of unreally predictable weather seasonal. I mean, it's weird that way. Sorry.
It was actually your predictable. I challenge your unpredictable weather with the currents of Chicago.
Oh, Chicago's got the inside. How drunk are you, buddy?
that really affects it. That really affects the weather and affects how cold and rainy it can be because of the Great Lakes themselves.
Oh, I'm so glad we don't have rain.
Seriously hear road noise?
Possibly. I'm on the north side. You might also hear communist protesters telling us how great.
You're just trying to hide the fact that you're driving.
Well, that too, but north side, so communist.
Really, you're a really bad liar.
Yeah, see, we have all of like 6 leftists out here in Kansas. I don't bemoan Illinois what it's going through.
Yeah, we're going through some detrimental times, but you know what? Dead bodies everywhere. So I do not care. How pleased I am. So it's part and parcel.
Okay, now that it's quieted down some over here, Burnside, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Greetings, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving and a great rape and pillage day to you all. Do not apologize for the greatness of this country as it's part of our being.
You're driving through a bad spot.
Well, what do you want me to tell you?
Tell me you're going to pull over and sober up?
No, don't be a pussy. Don't do it. Go faster.
I'm walking. What do I need to pull over for?
I hope you're walking. You're walking all the way from Illinois to, Florida, please?
Getting lost on the Appalachian Trail. Coming to Forum. There you go. Time well spent.
Yeah, it's funny. It was 70 degrees by you. Today by me, it was like, I think the high was maybe 30. It was 25 degrees today at that stupid fucking parade.
What, Macy's parade? Macy's Day?
Yeah. I won't go to it. Fucking communists. They can all go scratch their ass.
All right, so,
Burnside died. He hit the tree.
He probably fell into a manhole. All right, so Irving, we'll start with you. Even though your Thanksgiving was last month, what are you thankful for?
Well, free liquor every once in a while. I'm thankful that there's a quick response from the contractor to patch the hole in my house that leads directly outside to a Canadian winter. And I'm thankful that I'm no longer training the retarded boy who's probably going to die. And so at least I'll share the blame for his death at my work. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
How retarded are we talking? Are we talking like Corky Romano retarded? Are we talking like full-blown Down syndrome?
Not Down syndrome. This is a 40-year-old man who told me his back hurts and asked to call his mom. What?
Ouch.
What the fuck?
Mind of a child. This is an adult human with the mind of a child. I don't know what it is that's happening in his head, and I don't want to say mean things because I really don't want him to get hurt, right? And I'm training him to do the job, and we're just apparently hiring every fucking buddy. So, like, his shoe comes untied, and he can tie his shoe, but he can't tie it in such a way that it stays tied. So
why the fuck is he working?
Yeah, that's my question constantly to my superiors.
It sounds like he's probably why they Walmart greeter, and that's about it.
Sorry, what's that, Pox?
I said it sounds like he's fit to be a Walmart greeter, and that's about it. Yeesh.
That would actually probably be a better job for him. He's very friendly, right? If not thoroughly communicative. But the person who took over for me tells me that he's not as bad as I thought that he was, which probably means that over the past several days, I've actually been getting through to him, which makes me feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, so, I'm thankful for that too. So there it is. Yeah.
All right. Maestro, what are you thankful for?
Oh, shit. This is my favorite holiday. I'm thankful for just the fact it exists. I mean, this holiday is fantastic. I mean, as I was telling Scooby in DMs, it's quintessentially American. It transcends religion. It transcends religious creed or sect of faith. And I mean, it's secular in nature, and that's the thing that I love the most about it. So even the fucking atheists who have their heads up their asses can enjoy it. I mean, it's a great holiday. I mean, there's a lot. There's a whole lot. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad that everyone's had a safe and good Thanksgiving.
All right, Ox, what are you thankful for?
Normal stuff. Wife and kids, job, full belly, roof over my head. Pretty simple, man. I'm definitely thankful that we showed up and slaughtered all those fucking engines. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to celebrate this shit.
Oh, God. Scooby, what are you thankful for?
Well, I agree with Pox. I'm definitely thankful for, my wife. I'm thankful for my rescue dogs. Don't have any kids I'm aware of. Thankful for my mother. Love her to death. Thankful for my sister. A few other family members. I'm not going to start naming them. There's a few of them there. Mostly, I'm thankful for all you guys. I've lost a lot of people. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know this about me. I've lost roughly a little bit south of 60 people in the past 10 years due to overdoses, suicides, murders. Lost a lot of people here. My neighborhood has been destroyed due to a hurricane. It was the I think 5 or 6 year anniversary just this past month. It's still destroyed. I don't have a lot going for me myself. I'm partially crippled in the one leg. I can work, but New York State won't insure me to work, and I haven't been able to collect comp for the past 10 years since I've been injured, because they say I can work, but then when I go to apply for a job, they say New York State won't insure me because I'm an insurance risk. Then when I go back to the state, they say, well, we're not going to give you comp because you can work. And I say to them, well, you won't insure me. And they say, well, that's not our department. So I've been going through that with them. So I don't really have a lot. I'm an impoverished person. This is what I do right now because my neighborhood is destroyed and all my friends are dead. My family disowned me. So you guys are basically all I have. I consider you the most important people in my life outside of my mother, my wife, and my patches. Seriously, you guys are my everything. Seriously, you guys are my friends. That's a word I don't use lightly. And
that means a lot, man. I gotta just throw my 2 cents in there too, man. I gotta say, you guys have helped me through a lot. Like I don't. A lot of my friends, they just want to do dope and shit. The people that I run around with, since I've had started a family and shit, I don't really hang out or talk to many people either because they're still all in the scene. And when I met Scooby and Irving, I was kind of not long after I started talking to those guys. I went through some shit with my mom passing away, and you guys helped me out a lot. Dude. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful for you guys' friendship. Definitely. Like I said,
it's
throw my lot in with that one.
And a lot of people don't know one other thing about me. I want to actually uplift the mood a little bit here now that I just dragged it all down. I don't drink, not normally, because it's actually just something I don't enjoy like I used to. That having been said, I think other than I had to go to a family wedding a couple of months ago and I had to tie one on, just to deal, But other than that, I don't normally drink. The last time before that was when Irv here had recommended to me trying a Stella Artois with a green olive, which I tried, and it was good. So I'm going to try this because it's Thanksgiving and it's an American holiday. These new Sam Adams that he just came out with, Sam 76 in the can. They spent 2 years and $1.5 million developing a can that's better than a bottle. These are ice cold. It's a sixer. I'm gonna give one a whirl. So.
Oh yeah, I think if you say they're good, I think I might be trying to hit a liquor store here in a minute. Might have to hop out for a few.
Yeah, but a can that's better than a bottle. Who the fuck do they think they're kidding?
Well, I'm gonna try one right now. Let's
if it's
see.
an American invention, you better believe it's probably right.
Yeah, we're gonna see in a second. Let me go grab my Pilsner.
Americans also invented the pet rock. Okay, so just.
And how many houses does that guy own?
I know, right? God.
When I was little, I actually saw an advertisement for a pet rock. I'm like, I want a pet rock because I was little, you know. I wanted a pet, and you know, so my dad's like, okay, I'll go get you. You know, we'll go get you a pet rock. The next day, my dad brought me a pet rock. It was a fucking rock out of the backyard.
Well, that's smart. You saving.
My kids had them too. We just glued googly eyes onto them.
And he didn't even do that. He just handed me the rock. It was still covered in dirt. And and he's like, here you go. Here's your pet rock. What are you going to name it? I was like, you dug this out of the backyard. He's like, well, what do you think those things are from?
You know, my brother actually had a friend in the late 70s. He actually counterfeited those things. And they used to sell them up on Jamaica Avenue.
Nice.
I'm not sure how you can counterfeit a pet rock.
Well, that's just it. You just counterfeit the box. The rocks, you just buy rocks from a gravel yard. That's all. And he made a fortune during the holiday season.
All right, so I'm going to say what I'm thankful for. First of all, I'm thankful that my aunt and uncle are still with me. I've lost my mom, my daddy, and my grandmother. So having my aunt and uncle still around, awesome. They're healthy as horses. So they should be around for a good long while. I'm also thankful for my YouTube family, which includes, you know, Six, who is in the chat, my Jeff Goldblum lookalike, Hawks, my Mr. B, of course, if only he was here to hear this. And ultimately Scooby, because he's the one that threw me the link because I kept saying that the show was a sausage fest and they needed some triple D's up there. No shit, that's how I got my start on YouTube.
Nice.
I was in the chat and I'm like, the first night I was yelling at Scooby for him to say, "It's a me, Mario." And he finally said it, although he was a dick about it. And then the next night, I was saying how much of a sausage fest it was, and my brother's like, "You're never going to get on there," because I was in Alabama visiting him. He's like, "You're never going to get on there. You're never going to get on there." And I got tossed a link on Twitter, and the rest is history. I snagged my brother's headphones for his Xbox and popped them in, and he's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "I'm on Chaos 120.
Nice.
And now I host my own group thing.
Then it all started to go downhill when they introduced you to me. Why the fuck would they do that?
I don't know, but you're still cool. Doesn't bother me. Nothing's really gone downhill for me. I still have this, you know, same like 4 viewers. Right now there's only 2 because it's, well, fucking Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Shit, that ain't stopped nobody. People have been fucking... There's a couple people that have done 5-hour live streams right now.
Yeah, I saw that going on Twitter. One of my Twitter posts, actually, which is more important to me than what I'm thankful for.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm pulling it up. I want to make sure I get it right. I had said that while the thoughts of some celebrities are to the people in Flint, Michigan, and to the people during the California fires. My thoughts are with the people working today. The people that are at like places like the Golden Corral, which serves a full-on turkey dinner, serving people. And I didn't say the words, but I was thinking to myself, lazy fat asses that just don't want to cook. And to the people that are going to be working on, for Black Friday shopping, the cashiers at like Macy's was my example. That technically the Black Friday started in many ways yesterday. So my thoughts are with them, and I hope people are actually fucking nice to them, because when I go Black Friday shopping tomorrow, I am going to be so nice to these people. Yeah. Because I have to remind myself how long have they been here at work? How many people have trampled over them verbally because they can't find what the fuck they want and don't have the balls to go looking somewhere else? Be nice to these people. I've worked in retail. I've worked in the food industry. For everyone listening and that's going to go to do Black Friday shopping, be nice to those people, because they really, really don't want to be there.
Holy shit, this beer is delicious. Holy shit, this is delicious.
I actually got to experience my first Black Friday sale today.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was definitely different. I managed to not punch old ladies and children, that's a win for me. I know for normal people, it's like, oh, we don't punch women, we don't punch little kids and old ladies, and on a daily basis. But for me, being in that big of a crowd, yeah, that was a fucking win, dude. That means I'm progressing.
Scooby, you can vouch since Burnside fell out. How badly in DC did I want to trample all them little fucking kidlets?
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
And beat the hell out of the parents for not watching them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem really with crowds. I guess you know what it is, having been mugged a couple of times and getting jumped a few times when I was younger, and I got really badly assaulted once. I had to go to the hospital. They beat me fucking senseless. Having that happen so much, you kind of get over your fear of crowds. So, this is the thing. When Pox was telling me that he was nervous, I was walking him through the ways I deal with crowds. I basically, he said I'm a people person. I said, yeah, but I'm a sadistic asshole. I said, I like people the same way a teenager with a laser pointer likes a cat. And it's the God's honest truth. That is really the way I look at folks sometimes. And I was coaching them on what to say to different folks. The kids, whenever one of these little kids, you see them and they seem all excited. Well, what do you want? Well, jeepers, mister, I want the new Transformer so-and-so. Oh, yeah, my son wanted that. They sold out of it 2 days ago. Now, he was in Walmart, and I told him, whenever you talk to the older people, whatever they're looking for, they have it for $20 cheaper over at Target. You do things like that, little things like that to amuse yourself when you're dealing with the public. I told him,
I kind of went a different route, though. I had my headphones in listening to bluegrass, so I just kind of drowned everybody out, because I was only grabbing 2 things and then trying to hit the fucking door, right? But I did, oh my God, the people. Oh, and the smell. So many people, it just smelled awful. I imagine living where Scoo does, probably where Irving does too, in the big fucking cities, man. That's got to be awful. It's got to smell like that all the time. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I work in the warehouse and I go to Fan Expo at the end of August. Okay, you don't understand, Bo.
Well, I just really quick, I'll give you guys a little tip that I have now. Understand, I was raised Catholic. I don't persecute anybody. And I like to have fun. And I'm one of those people. I believe that I was put on the earth to go up to life, sneak up right behind life, and stick an ostrich feather in its sphincter and go give it a little twirl. That's my honest belief of what my mission in life is. Now, when people come up to me and they say to me, it happens a lot during the holidays, I look like I need help, I guess. I just project that. So people come up to me a lot during the holiday season, and they look right in my eyes and they go, "Excuse me, son." have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? And I look at them and I go like this. I really would love to talk to you, but there is only one God, and Muhammad is his prophet. Assalamu alaikum. It's so much fun to do that to these folks. Seriously. You know, it's little things like that you can do to them. You know, and not just the Christians. You can have fun with all sorts of people.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Anyone. You can find a way, you know, like to mess with the, like, I remember I had a friend who was Jewish, but he was really lapsed, and he was trying to get into Hanukkah. And I got this poor asshole to buy essential oils for his menorah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah,
Even Mississippi thinks it's funny.
You know, I don't know, man. If I'm in a place crowded with people, I look at it as like it's a playground to me. There's just so much fun I can have with people. You know, when someone comes up to me, hey, I got the last 48-inch, and look at this thing. It's only $400. Like, yeah, you know, I was just in the store across the street, and they had a 56-inch for $300. Just the little things you can do, you know. Like, yeah, I can't believe you're buying that now. I mean, tomorrow, didn't you see the flyer? It's going to be 20% off. Yeah. Life is too short not to amuse yourself at the expense of others. That's my whole point of it. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's not like you're harming anybody. Like, if you honestly see that somebody's going to fly into a rage, like, you know, let's say they grab the nearest potted plant and they start beating their spouse, maybe you want to tell them you're fucking with them. But, you know, other than, like, if they wig the fuck out. Now, granted, it's Black Friday. You might actually trigger something like that, so be warned. But other than that, you can have a lot of fun with people on Black Friday and the holidays, just in general.
The potted plant spousal abuse thing reminded me very much of Bill Burr's favorite joke. It was written on a chalkboard outside the bar. We like our beer like we like our violence. Domestic.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm actually a former victim of domestic violence, but that's
the joke
fucking
is
funny.
Perfect, Tara. It's perfect. Like, not one word of fact.
But you know as well as I do, Tara, especially since you're from that part of the country, when, culturally speaking, when folks from down south are joking about domestic violence, 9 times out of 10, it's usually about the husband getting clubbed with a rolling pin.
Most of the jokes for that come from the north.
Most of all, yeah, that is true. My God, that is true. Holy shit, that was actually something. They actually still do sell them in certain stores. Where you'll see
down here, the jokes are about us chasing them with butcher knives.
Yeah, Southern women will stab you, run your ass over.
Yep.
Take a knife to the kidney. Enjoy.
You know, you'll actually see certain kitchens around here. Like, I was in one of my sister's friends' kitchens, and she has a rolling pin holder, and on the holder is a little brass plaque, and it says, "For him." I get a kick out of that. You know, and it's funny because I say this all the time to these younger folks. It's not even the leftists, because a lot of the people that I've had problems with lately are quote-unquote right-wing, but they're all under 30. So I just say the under 30 crowd. There's shit wrong with these people. And you can't joke with these fucking kids. They got no sense of humor. You know? You can't say something to them in jest. I mean, Jesus. They talk about fascism. Have they listened to themselves, the shit that people, like, get on me for? That, well, you know, you said this and you said that, so you're a doxer. Oh, okay, but you're saying this and you're saying that. That's fucking fascism. You're policing my words. You guys don't understand, like, you know, the irony here. What you're doing, you know, it's some Red Guard shit. I'm really waiting for all these kids to show up in the black outfits with, like, the red buttons going down the front.
Well, I mean, people say this all the time, but you do realize the only difference between a lot of these people and the people that they freak out about is the fact that the people they're freaking out about went after their video.
Yeah.
that they're fucking with their comic books and their video games and their childish wonder that they want to live in the rest of their life, and that's the only reason they're against them. Everything else is just bullshit they're spouting to try to get views and attention. Like,
yeah, like me, I have a legit, this is the thing though. I mean, my problem with the comic books is a little bit more sincere. I mean, it's.
I honestly believe that the comic books and stuff, they're sincere in that shit. It's the deeper political crap that doesn't involve mindless entertainment stuff that they're not sincere about, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because I've noticed that. I'm not going to name names, but there was a few times I brought some of these people, like, let's say, onto Irv Stream, and I'd ask them a question, and the response was, I have no fucking idea. I'm lost on all this. So, I'm just observing. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't think what we were talking about was anything too deep. Then I just realized they're twits. Like, I couldn't believe that people, I mean, some of these people weren't younger either. They were like, in their early 30s at, around that mark. You'd think that they would have, I don't know, some idea of what the fuck's going on in the country. We're talking about shit they have no idea. We're talking about propositions. We're talking about laws, ordinances, things that are, and they got no idea. No idea what's going on in the House or the Senate. I was actually shocked.
They stopped teaching civics around the time I think me and you were in high school, middle school. Why would they know anything about it?
Wow. Well, I mean, that's a legitimate point. I was in the last graduating class that was mandatorily required to take civics. So, the juniors underneath me never even took it. Sophomores didn't, And it was a sophomore required class. So at the time when I was freshman, they were all excited about the fact of not taking it. And I'm like, wait, what? No, if you don't, it's like
you're excited about not learning your responsibilities as a citizen of a nation.
Well, I mean, for me, it's more like the frustration with the fact that everyone is under the misconception that America is a democracy. And it's like, no, we're not. We're a representative republic. There's a huge fucking fundamental difference between the two.
Yeah.
And that is quite literally, in my opinion, based on the fact that none of these people remotely understand the difference because none of these people were educated on the difference. Yeah.
And then you have actual politicians and people that are involved in politics always spouting off about we're a democracy. And a lot of these people, because they don't understand civics or they've never taken a course on it or studied it, they just repeat what the fuck they hear. Really parents.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like their politicians would lie to you. My God. I mean,
what's the technical term? A federated democratic republic? Is that
no? We're a federated constitutional republic.
Constitutional republic. Thank you.
Yes. See, the trick is the difference with a republic. Just not for you or for anyone listening. The difference between a republic and a democracy is the more of you that scream, and the louder that you scream in a democracy, you get your way. In a republic, the louder that you scream, and the more that you scream. In the 60s, we used to use fire hoses and German shepherds. Nowadays, we don't do that. We've gotten a little bit too pansified. So, I personally would like to see them go back to that. But yeah, that's
the asshole that showed up to those events with a lawn chair and a cooler and just sat and watched the hippies get hosed down.
Oh, that's exactly what happened out here. La Raza tried to have a little shindig out here, and I went out to go watch it, and oh my God, they were so nice and polite to the cops because there was like 30 of them and about 500 counter protesters. And it was just like, I just showed up with a freaking lawn chair and some beer and just sat down and enjoyed the fucking show.
My man.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I mean, now granted, we still have to do the crap thing, like what I guess used to be New York law, where you have to drink it in a goddamn paper bag because they can't actually.
We still have to do that, yeah.
But, still, I was just sitting there with some of my friends and we were just like, this is fucking hilarious. Yes, please tell me that you're not racist as your group is the race. Like, that's fucking golden. I love that shit. Fucking love that shit.
Do you know why we had to put that law into effect with the brown paper bags?
I have no idea.
We had dickheads showing up with fish bowls full of liquor.
That's it right there, man.
Yeah.
That's some fucking
Rednecks.
Western Kansas bullshit. Jesus God.
It's fine, but when you got the St. Patty's Day parade, I mean, I was there 1 year, and when I tell you, this guy had to be about 80 years old, and he gave me this look, and he said to me, "Please don't do anything." These teenagers were just drinking and smashing their bottles. It had to be at least 2 foot deep of broken glass in this pile right by where I was standing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wanted to fucking kill him, but the old man's like, "Please don't do anything to him. They're just kids." So I said, "Yo, fuck this." I found this little Puerto Rican cop. She was maybe about 4'6". I said, "Yeah, these teenagers over here breaking the law and they're making a mess and they're scaring the old people," and that was it. Just anyone to let anyone know, if you're ever in New York City and you ever see a woman cop and she's under 5 foot tall, she's gonna kick your ass. Just letting you know that right now. And oh my God, did she lace into these kids? And then the other cops came over, and look, it's the NYPD. They do not fuck around.
Neither do the cab drivers.
Oh my God,
we got 2 new additions to the stream. Your boy Pat just jumped in, and Dark Witch something. I can't see.
1941.
Hey, Dark Witch.
Hey.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, same to y'all. Like I said, yeah, sorry for being a little late, but just having a blast.
Hey, chocolate kids.
It's all good, man.
I just got out of a bar.
Turkey Genocide Day?
Yeah, a little bit of everything day. Like, so full.
This is one of those rare days, just really quick. Since we got a lot of people that are overseas right now that are serving and they can't. I myself don't normally drink, but today, having a beer. Just for those that are overseas that can't drink. Drinking one for them. As somebody who's a non-drinker, that's literally, I'm taking a bullet right now. I'm going to feel like shit in the morning.
You're making me want to get lost into this bottle of tequila, man. It's all liquor I got in the house, but I don't know if I want to get Mexicano drunk or not.
Yeah, bro, I can't be touching tequila. I'm allergic to it. I wake up covered in sluts.
All right, so let me ask the 2 newcomers. Dark Witch, what are you thankful for this year?
What do I think? What?
What are you thankful for?
That I'm still alive. Seriously, I ride a bicycle around this town. I'm thankful I'm a fucking alive. All
right, Pat, what are you thankful for?
Hell, I'm thankful for a lot of things, hell shit. One, like I said, I'm still alive myself. 2, for a lot of the friends and family that I have in my life, that never take things for granted. Because, a lot of people, out here just purposely throwing their lives away over stupid bullshit. And I'm out here, hell, trying to achieve everything in my life before, my time is up.
Yeah, like coming to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like I
heard it. Pat's gonna come and visit me.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm trying to build up the funds right now.
Catch a wave for me.
Pat, go ahead and throw your PayPal or whatever link you want into the chat. If you're not already a admin, I will make you one.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to get a hold of it.
And last I saw, 6 was in the chat, and he's spending Turkey Day with his dad.
Hey, 6, tell the first 6 minutes that he said, "Hey, happy Thanksgiving." Oh, dead air people.
Yes, I know. I'd love to know where Burnside went.
So when I was at the Black Friday sale today, I think I saw a vampire.
Mm.
It was it's some like this really ancient lady, and her hands were just like filthy. I've never seen just her hands. They were just disgusting, filthy, and she had vicious looking fucking long ass fingernails. Her hair was falling out, and she had all of 4 teeth, and every one of them was pointed, dude. I would not go near this lady.
I told him to
I'm
go up
just
and
glad
walk
that
for
she
5
was-
bucks. I told you.
I was afraid whatever I had might have been contagious, dude. It was freaky as fuck. And then I got stuck standing next to it, and I don't know. I have to wonder if all of us, like, if our generation were this hideous as teenagers, because I mean, all teenagers are awkward looking. This kid was shaped like Louis Anderson, had this fucking this tangled ass mop of curly black hair, Coke bottle glasses, and fucking braces, and his gums were so big he couldn't close his mouth over them. It was fucking just. Oh, it was like a Picasso painting come to life, man. I don't know.
You saw one in the wild and it was real.
Yeah. I got a question. Is it, you made me think about this because I've been noticing these kids a lot lately because I don't know what it is. I must be like a magnet for snide, annoying teenagers who talk shit out the side of their mouth. Like, when I was a teenager, if I seen an adult who looked like me, the last thing I would do, especially if I was half his size, would sit there and point and say shit so he could hear it. These fucking teenagers got no problem doing shit like this.
Well, it's because they're not afraid of repercussions.
I know, and it's mind-boggling.
And see, here in Florida, they know better than to do that because those of us women that were born and raised here, because most of them are transplants, they would end up getting their asses fucking chewed the fuck out. Like me, I'd whip around and just ride them so hard and make them fucking cry. And it wouldn't be the first time.
You get battered for shit like that up here normally. Like, I'm actually a decent person. You know how many of these teenagers, I mean, I see it often. Like, every summer, I'll see one of these kids get the shit beat out of them badly in the bar because they don't know any better. One, they sneak in with a fake ID, which is stupid. You're amongst adults. And two, you go into a bar, and I mean, everybody is inked up. Everyone's missing teeth. You look at some of them and you see like 1 or 2 of their fingers will be crooked going in the wrong direction. I mean, you can tell these are people that use their hands for a living. You're going to go into a bar like this and you're going to start talking shit. Like,
not a wise idea.
You're going to end up on your ass or worse.
Seriously, I seen one of these groups of kids once, and you know what? The bartender said something to me. I said, I don't fucking care. I actually grabbed the kid by his hair, and I pulled him outside of the bar, and I yelled at him. I said, the fuck out of here before one of them kill you. This guy comes in, and bear in mind, right above the bar, it says Local Pipe Fitters Union.
Yeah.
So, you're going to come into this bar, and you're going to start talking shit about the military. You're going to start talking shit about the police. You're going to start talking shit about the president. You're going to start talking shit about the country. I grabbed this young man by his hair, and I started walking him outside, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, his friends. And I'm like, shut up, follow him. And the bartender's like, hey. I'm like, don't worry, I'm saving the kid's life. I walked him outside, and the friends followed him. And they were all yelling at me, this is assault, this, that, and the third. I said, any cop that looks at the tape, because they got audio on that tape, is going to say, I just saved your lives. I said, you realize that those guys were looking to feed you the stools that they were sitting on? The fuck's the matter with the 3 years? Can't go into somebody's place that they come there after working all day. They don't ask for nothing. They don't bother nobody. These people bust their ass. They're not out in the streets picketing. They're doing their job. And they're not bothering you. Don't come into their bar. I see it all the time. One of the reasons I used to bounce was to prevent shit like that.
I know, and that's what these rugrats fail to realize these days. They think just because they all up in their feelings and shit like that, and they don't get touched when they're out there protesting, wasting everybody else's time, that everywhere they go, that people are going to have morals and principles and all this shit right there. One of these days, like I said, like going up in a bar and stuff like that, you're going to run up on somebody who doesn't have morals and principles that you're looking for to get away with doing the shit that you do, and they're going to fuck your ass up, and they're going to be like, oh my God.
Once you enter a bar, morals mean absolutely dick.
I've been working bars and taverns since I was probably about 15 years old. I started under Huggy up over at the Vegas. That's up over in Culpeg, New York, up off Montauk Highway. This is right down the road from the Amityville Horror House. So Huggy was Puerto Rican and Sicilian. He was a fucking madman. I remember there was this one time this guy came in and he goes like this. He's like, Huggy, I will fuck you up. I'm a black belt in 7 different martial arts. So Huggy just took 2 pool cues and busted them both across the bar. It's like, I'll fucking impale you. You know, I mean,
Taylor.
like seriously, I mean, like these were some tough fucking bars. These were bars, you know. Now this is the thing. I started sneaking into bars like this, and they let me sneak in. I thought they knew how old I was. It was the reason they were letting me in was because when I was getting into fights, I wasn't yelling help. I was actually like fighting back. So they respected that I held my own. And when I actually was of age and I started going into like the college bars, it was a completely different scene. I was getting into fights with meatheads every 5 feet. And that's when I realized something. A lot of these college kids, especially these muscly assholes, now this is obviously because, Pat, you're my age, no offense, but usually when it's a younger guy and he looks like you, it's because he has the time to put in the effort to get himself in that shape, and mommy and daddy are giving him the supplements. He ain't putting in the work like you and me, where he's actually sitting there busting his ass for a few years to get that way. And like Irv, you trained in martial arts. You actually like trained and studied these shit. These little bastards don't have anything to do, so they can devote 6 hours a day, with a sensei, and they have like a Sifu and that sort of shit. That's like personal training them. These little bastards. So, like, when I'm saying, if you meet somebody and he's built like Pat and he's driving a Ferrari and he's got a gold card, he don't know how to fight. That's all I'm saying. He's got a trainer and he don't know how to fight. But if you run into somebody and he looks like he can handle himself, I'll tell you right now, the guy who's tough, who looks tough, and you bump into him and knock your drink on him and you say you're sorry and he turns around and he says to you, hey, look, it's cool, man. It's no problem. Look, you know what? You want a beer? That's probably the guy that can beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
the guy you knock into, and you're like, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get. Motherfucker, you spilled your drink on me. You don't know who the fuck I am. He ain't nobody.
Yeah, that's the guy you just knock out right away. Shut him up.
Realistically, the most telling thing you said there is you don't know who I am.
Exactly.
I worked bar and event security for 15 years plus, and that type of you don't know me, you don't know what I'm capable of bullshit outright screams I'm a pussy, please don't hit me. I'll go cry to mom, or I'll go to my car and get a gun because that'll prove I'm a real man.
Yeah.
Or I've got my attorney on speed dial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's real funny.
A real man.
I remember one time I took this little twat out of a bar because he was just being a dick, and just general pussy about things. And he takes a swing at me, or tries to. So I twist his arm around, bend it up behind his back, and just use it to march him the fuck out. And he's talking about how he's gonna sue my ass and all that shit. I'm like, well, I'm in Kansas, dude. You are lucky I didn't kill you. This is a stand your ground state. You assaulted me with a weapon in your hand. I could kill you at this point. Call your attorney right the fuck now, or get the hell out. And dude never fucking came back. Never goddamn word. It's fantastic. For all people bitch about stand your ground, it actually stops most conflicts from escalating. It really does. The times it doesn't, typically I've seen are when it's that type of thing where it's like a kid or somebody who's used to their mother's or father's fucking attorney solving all their problems for them. And those fuckers are dangerous though, because they do not give a shit. They have no moral compunctions whatsoever to doing whatever.
The spoiled brats, where mommy and daddy gives them everything they ask for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Short of a rocket launcher.
And those are the main ones who either get or need to get knocked the fuck out.
You know, my favorite was always the ones. I forget the term for the pants. One of the terms that they used to have for them when I was younger, they would call them crazy pants. You tend to see the pants like you'll see they got like it'll be like the New York Jets or the New York Giants or the Dallas Cowboys. They're these poofy looking like pants that usually have like a football team on them.
Or a
They
little jacket.
Yeah, yeah. They're really big with like the Italians and the Puerto Ricans and the Spanish people. Of I guess the Central America.
Talking about the parachute pants, man.
They're different than parachute. They're not that poofy. They're more like a material. They're not as thick as jogging pants. They're a little bit lighter. They're like windbreaker material. They're almost like windbreaker pants, but they're not like parachute pants. Anyway, they're big up here. Now, one of the things that a lot of us, when we was working the door, we knew, you see some asshole who's wearing those and wearing sneakers. Usually he's into either Muay Thai or Pencak Silat, and so this is somebody who's going to throw kicks. I used to love it when these guys would come, and I'm no tough guy. I'm not like, I'm no Steven Seagal or whatever. I'm a big guy, that's all. So you get a guy, and he comes up, and he's like, again, size doesn't always matter, but the guy's like maybe about 5'4" and about $140. I'm 6'2", and at the time when I was working the door, I was about 275. So this asshole decides he's going to come and he's going to throw a roundhouse kick at my face. Now, yeah. So I grab him by the ankle, and I grab him by the ankle and the knee, and I start smacking him up against the wall. Because, I'm working the door, I got the security shirt on, and he assaulted me. Now, this is just like to drop him, I threw him up against the wall a few times. I hurt his hip, the guy could throw another kick or whatever. But I'm saying this story just to emphasize a point. I was telling this to my mother, when today she was talking to me, and I told her, I said, Bruce Lee did a very big disservice with his movies because he made people honestly believe that, someone like Bruce Lee is going to be able to knock out somebody like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let's be in all honesty here. Come on. It was his movie. You could tell that Bruce Lee seriously was coming at Kareem. He's just going to start front kicking the guy like a fucking soccer ball. He's not going to sit there and try to freaking kung fu him. It's just not it's not really, that's not how it's going to work. If I was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I would have smacked him. I would have smacked him and it would have been over with. And that's, you see this, I see this a lot. I'll see martial artists get into fight with guys who are just they're like iron workers and shit. And, the guy he'll land like a good 12 punches, and then the iron worker will just backhand him, and that's it. The black belt's on the floor.
Yeah, it's like the backhand from the new Jumanji movie where I forget what the scared kid's name is, but he just backhands Fridge and he goes flying into the rock wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, The Rock and Kevin Hart, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've seen shit like that. Like I showed my mother the scene that was in Ip Man. I think it was Ip Man 2. Illustrates the point. There's a scene with the boxer and all these martial artists, and they're all sitting there, and they're running up and they're doing their combinations. And the boxer hits this one Chinese guy in his face, basically just explodes, and he's on canvas.
Yeah.
You got.
Well, there's a couple of things going on there. Number one, size and kinetic linkage through boxing is insane. There's very few martial arts that remotely touch what pugilists can do because of kinetic linkage. It's just outright. And secondly, it's purely size. I'm not 6'2". I'm 5'10", 5'11", somewhere, depending on the time of day. Wake up at 5'11", go to bed at 5'10". Yeah, bullshit. But still, those little miniature little Chihuahua people, just tiny little yapper motherfuckers will almost always start a fight, and it's very much like that scene from Mice and Men, with Lenny. The minute that he beats up the little dude, they start fucking complaining about how could you fucking do that, and it's like, dude, this guy was doing everything he could to hurt me. Why are you fucking mad at me? There's a lot going on in that, and I really do like the analogy to Napoleon with Napoleonic complex, and that it fits. They have something to prove that they, just because of their genetics, that they cannot tolerate, and until they prove that they're a badass, every night, they can't get their dick hard, and it's just, Jesus, go away. I don't want to be the guy who has to drop you again. But yeah, no, typically you don't run into 6'2", 6'6" people that have to prove that type of shit. Like it happens, but not very often.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah. You know, it was funny. We had a band once. My friend's band was playing at the bar, and it was just basically a private show for the bouncers. And one of the bouncers there was my friend Jermaine. Now Jermaine's a foot taller than me, and
he's a 7'2". That's a goddamn giant.
yeah. So, well, it was him, and usually we had with us that night also my friend Smooth, and Smooth, that's with a V. He was also 7'2". So it's funny because we got the pick going, and all of a sudden Jermaine grabs me by my shirt, picks me up, and hurls me across the bar like a dodgeball into the wall. And everyone in the bar was shocked because no one ever seen me get thrown like that before. And they were like, how the hell did he do that? And I was the first one that said, it's physics. I said, how do you think I was able to throw all of you? I said, it's the same thing. Yeah. He has more leverage. He has more muscle mass. He's just bigger. He's stronger because he's just larger. They didn't understand, you know. It makes you real. You know, you realize, like, holy shit, these people are that dense. They don't understand it. They thought, like, I had supernatural powers that whole time.
Yeah, right. No, just physics. Everything is governed by the laws of physics.
That's it. I'm having Rich make a Scoob Hulk.
A what?
A Scoob Hulk.
Oh. As long as he has the mask. That's cool.
No. It's going to have the Mickey face.
Okay, cool. That's even better. Well, I love Rich's work, seriously. If you guys haven't seen it yet, definitely look at Richard Art's work. It's awesome stuff that he does.
That kid's a monster.
Yeah, definitely. And his art just keeps getting better and better.
God, here. Okay, I actually have a fair example. This is something he mocked up for me pretty quickly. Hopefully I can keep talking and just you can see what's going on here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he just... Cool. Yeah, like his structural anatomy has gotten so much better, and I want to credit myself for that because I bought this picture from him and sent him some basically dough for books that he could learn. And God, I've never seen anyone take to the knowledge in those books as quickly as this guy did. He's if you think this is good, he's like twice as good as what you're seeing in this image. Like,
his rendition of the new She-Ra was so good.
Yeah. Oh my God. How long has he had those books now? When did I get this picture? 2 months ago?
Almost 3.
Almost 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going places. If he wants to, if he keeps it up, he'll go places.
That's amazing.
He's drawn images of fan art of me. And he recently did one for the She-Ra is okay thing, which is like a mocking of the new She-Ra. And he drew it of Hank Venture dressed as She-Ra.
That is probably better looking than the actual She-Ra that they came up with for the new reboot.
Yeah.
Anything is better looking than that.
I have to watch it because I'm going to do a review on it. I'm literally, after every episode, I'm going to do a recording, upload it to the computer, and make it all one video. And if I find certain scenes, you're going to see the show from my TV. And
somebody drew of a producer handing Ben 10 the fucking She-Ra dress. And it looks exactly like the character.
Yeah, it does. Hilarious. But I'm going to put in the disclaimer. I pay for Netflix. I can show this all I want.
Because I'm hearing about the cringe, and I'm thinking like, I don't want to see this regardless.
On Twitter, hounding someone saying, prove that it's nothing but an LGBT political agenda, and I was like, you want proof? How about the fact that they made almost every single princess on there a lesbian? I was like, or the fact that when Adora transforms, she transforms into a cross-dressing Ben 10. And I didn't yet get to the fact that they actually address gay rights in the show. They literally say, "Yay for gay rights."
Like that,
You know,
that's, like,
I'm not.
that's the line. Yay for gay rights, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was like, not to mention the showrunner is a lesbian, so of course she's going to make this, you know, all about that. And you know, if she wanted to do that, she should have stuck to her own cartoon called Lumberjanes, which is all about lesbians.
I know. I forgot who I talked to about that whole entire thing. They said, because you know, I was arguing about the whole entire, like, you know, they always crying about, you know, like, oh, we have no representation in this and that, and I'm like, okay, if they don't have no representation, then why don't they just, you know, build something from the ground up, like how these people did?
Because they're
you know,
too fucking lazy.
Well, I already know that, and somebody made the argument about, you know, like how Hollywood is today. Is like, you know, they come in there with their original thoughts and all that right there, and they say, "Hey, that's all fine and dandy, but before you can even try that, well, like, you know, try like with this, you know, like give them something that already has a well-established fan base and shit, and seeing if they can, you know, work with that, make that profitable or whatever, and then they'll try their own stuff." I'm like, that is not going to fucking work, you know, like. All
yeah,
you gonna do is
when the fan base is in their 30s and 40s, and they're saying that this is shit.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They end up pissing off the original fan base and all that right there. They end up losing more money than anything and all that shit right.
One major example to prove that pissing off the original fan base does not work is that piece of shit Gem movie that came out 2 years ago and was pulled from theaters in 2 weeks because the fans were pissed off. There were people walking out and demanding their money back.
Which movie?
That doesn't surprise me.
The Gem movie.
Gem. Not familiar with it. Like, the most recent movie I'm familiar with where they did that kind of shit was A Wrinkle in Time. Where they just butchered the entire goddamn thing. It was fucking terrible. I remember reading that. It was all right. You know, it wasn't one of my favorite books, but it wasn't, you know, shit.
I've read all the books, and I love them. But I don't like it when they butcher them, because this isn't the first time they've butchered it. There's another made-for-TV series by Disney of A Wrinkle in Time that they did about 10 years ago, and I think it was more to the book than what this next one is. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to do a review of it as well.
Awful. Like, seriously, like, get ripped before you see it, and then it won't be as bad because you're passing out halfway through all the time anyway.
Solid logic.
Hey man, like it was god awful. I'm sitting there going, wait, what? Huh? Like, why? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna.
This is why I don't watch many movies.
You're better off. I'm sorry, Pat. I cut you off. You were about to say something.
No, but say, and my thing is, like, you know, I wanted, you know, because they constantly see all these reboot failures right here, you know, like, then I'm saying, you know, it's like they're not profitable, and if they are, you know, they're barely and all that right there. And it's like, you know, like, but yet they keep on going, they keep on doing this, and I'm like, why? When you see like this stuff is failing, you know, like the original fan bases don't like it, you know, and the people who you're trying to convince and all that right there don't even get into this because, you know, they're just cheap asses, like, you know, they demand, and you know, they demand all this stuff, but once you give it to them, you know, they don't support it, they don't buy it, they don't purchase it, nothing. So it's like, why do you keep doing this? And I'm thinking it's like, you know, like, of course, you know, they don't care what the original fan base thinking all this stuff because, you know, they feel like, oh, we're old. We're the old generation. They're trying to convince the next generation, you know, that's going to build the new generation to, you know, they're trying to indoctrinate this current generation so they can teach the next generation this bullshit right here. And then it's like it goes on till it becomes a problem. Then they try to recycle the old generation shit. It's like, it's like a problem. It's like a problem that just keeps going on and on. It's like they create a problem just so they can go back and fix the shit. Well, see, how long before this become of course, you know, we'll never be around to see it, but how long you think it's going to take before they realize, you know, like, oh yeah, we need to fix this shit right here because it's just gotten out of hand.
Well, it's like a snowball rolling downhill, just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is, don't you? They are convinced that we are either too spiteful to appreciate what they're doing, or too stupid. It has to be one of the two. We're either doing it on purpose.
They just want to make the children gay, you guys. That is all it is.
And the frogs.
It's no more, no less. They just want to fuck with the children. That's it.
Yeah.
These people are fucked up, and they want everyone else to be fucked up, so they're just going to keep hammering away until they wear everybody down, and we just go along with it. That's it.
I'm all for, gay rights of every type. Hell, I'm a member of the LGBT community. I'm a B. I'm bisexual. But, Pat liked one of my tweets the other day because he had made a comment after quoting someone where I said, if you're a lesbian but have an attraction to men, then you're a bisexual that prefers women. If you're heterosexual with an attraction to women, then you're bisexual, but you prefer men. How hard is this to understand?
What is it when you're attracted to women, but you prefer like a sandwich?
You're
Well, no, I did.
You're sapiosexual.
You are a homosexual, sir.
No. He's sapiosexual, but obviously the sandwich has more intelligence.
I know. It's like I agree. It's like I agree with that because, like, a few weeks ago, I was having like an argument online with the whole gay for pay thing, where it's like where it's like like women who do porn and stuff like that, but it's like in their real life, they're lesbians and shit like that, but they're porn stars, and so they're on like camera, like taking dick, like they're enjoying it and all this stuff right there, which you have to enjoy some dick. I don't give a damn how much money you get paid and stuff like that. If you're willing to take a dick, come on now, you're bisexual, at least in my opinion.
Hold on, the best
I have a question.
The best T-shirt I ever seen was on a homeless man in Atlantic City, and it said, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20."
Well, I want to address the age-old question. If you're a lesbian, okay, that's cool. And you like women, you enjoy eating pussy, but why do lesbians fuck each other with a strap on? They don't like men, don't want to take a dick. But they fuck each other with a strap on.
Some of that is actually women that have been with men, they like dick, but something happened and they went lesbian. They won't go near another man.
No,
that's some of it. A lot of lesbians, though, that have never been with a man do not take strap-ons.
Okay, sure, maybe, but also the female anatomy is built that way, that even if a woman is attracted to other women and not men and not penises, there's still an entire inside to her that is sexually pleasurable. Right? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's got nothing to do with male genitals. It's got to do with that's the inside of me, I think. And there's a whole
It has to do with male genitals. It doesn't have to do with the male attached to the genitals.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. But I mean, dude, male genitals, I mean, hey, ask the fucking students in my high school over at St. Mike's there. A broom handle will do. Right?
Well, to get back to the media topic real quick, I think it's a bit different. I don't think that they're trying to break it to fix it. I was talking about this on my morning show about 4 days ago. I think that they're trying to break it because they're envious of it and wish to destroy it. Yeah, I think the motivation is entirely different. I don't think that they want to set up later a callback, throwback kind of approach. I think that they quite literally are envious creatures by nature. Because if you notice, they're not really creating. They're taking something new, sure, but they're not creating it. They're not building their own thing for the most part. Their main desire is to lay waste to things that people enjoy. This is best seen in at least in my opinion, in what happened to the Star Wars franchise. I mean, Rogue One was alright-ish, I guess, kind of, maybe. I mean, it was better than the prequels, but that's not saying much.
I like the special effects in that.
Yeah. It was a tour de force of special effects, but that was about it. But if you get into The Last Jedi, it was quite literally destroying the entire intellectual property. It's just the desire to lay waste. You know, and that I think is by far more of it than anything else, because it's hard to create your own thing. It's hard to get people interested in what you specifically have created and are doing. Not only that, you have to open yourself up to ridicule and to, you know, public consternation if they don't like it. And I do think that's a huge part of it, because if you're not responsible for what you do because it's toxic fans or what the fuck ever who don't want you destroying something. I mean, look at Ghostbusters 2016, for fuck's sake.
No. Please don't.
I couldn't even get what I'm saying.
I couldn't get 40 minutes into that movie.
Okay.
I had to turn it off. It was horrible.
Yeah, you're buttressing my point here, so please, by all means, continue.
I couldn't even get 40 minutes into that movie. I got maybe like 32 minutes in, and I just had to turn it off. I was like, nope, this is shit. This is absolute shit. I turned it off, and I went through my DVD collection. I found the original Ghostbusters, and I put that on. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the original to purge those images from my mind.
I have to know what did the missus and the old lady have to say about it?
Well, I got a bottle thrown at my head, a plastic one. What does that tell you?
It was a warning shot.
He's just lazy.
No, my question is was it the missus or the old lady?
The old lady.
That means she would say turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. This was while I was in the process of turning it off.
The sad thing is, like, you watch a lot of these stupid movies that they crank out now in these TV shows, and I talk to all you guys on here, and everyone says the same thing to me. Who actually acts like this? And if you go to Manhattan, there are a couple of million people who act like that. It is the scariest fucking thing you will ever see.
Fucking high school children.
You're on a whole... If I saw it a few years ago, and, you know, I always said when I was a kid, my father fed me red pills, like force-fed me those fucking things. I was red-pilled before I knew what the hell it was. But... you see, there are things that can open your eyes. Like, one of the things, I did not realize how fucked our generation was. I'm not even talking about the millennials. Those kids, oh my God, give them the sign of the cross. But, I mean, we're talking about our generation. I did not know how fucked we were until I saw This Is 40 with Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann. Oh my God, that is the most vapid movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. Oh, that's our generation? They're that shallow? Oh, God, no wonder. Thank God we got the president in the White House. These people were, this country was on a fucking bullet train to hell. Holy shit.
We still are.
Well, I think he's at least applying to, not just him. I'm not going to put it all on his shoulders. We got a bunch of good people in there so far in the past 2 years that are trying to right the wrongs done for the past, like, 15 fucking years prior. Jesus. Whew. I tell you, since I was in college way back in the late 90s, it's been a wild ride, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It really has, and I can't take this shit anymore. I'm kind of glad that the Democrats have been coming off the spool the past few months, so I'm really hoping, you know, they cinched it up for the midterms, whatever, fine. We're going to see in the next 2 years how batshit crazy these people are. I'm really hoping come 2020 when they're up for re-elections, we get a lot of those people the fuck out of here. I'm not happy with the Republicans, but if you got a choice between a retarded dog or a retarded 5-year-old who has access to a gun, I'll take the retarded dog. It's just going to bite you. The 5-year-old's got access to a gun.
The retarded dog is more fun. Anyway.
Definitely, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on now. Let's not talk about Cortez that way.
Oh. Well played. I like that.
Yeah, but I want to go back. I want to go back to what was this Maestro or whatever? Like Yeah, what you were saying earlier about like how a lot of people like to take these well established things right here and they're really trying to destroy them because they're basically envious of them and they don't want to create their originals because because they're not responsible enough to like take their criticism and things like that. And that's where I think what a lot of them really mess up right there. It's like if they if they actually take the time and learn like how these people who are and all these characters who are well established, it's like that's the reason why they're well established because they went through all this criticism and this ridicule. Because you think that anything that's popular right now to this day that they're fucking up right now was instantly accepted? Like, no, they have to go through like, well, I don't like this and I don't like that, and they have to go through all the criticism and looking at this and that and like do I want to change this, do I want to change that? Well, the fans seem to like this, so I'm gonna do that for them right there, but also while doing this for my certain self. And so you like put that two together, and that's how these characters have survived over all these decades right here. That's what the Rugrats fail to realize. They just want to create something, they just want to take something that's from the original and stuff like that, put their own salve on it and try to say like, oh, I created this, I created that. Like, no, you didn't. You just cheated off somebody else, putting your own salve on it, and now you just want to instantly accept it.
Instant recognition, and the only way to do that is to steal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's like I just cheated off the Smart Kids exam. I'm not going to do any trial and error.
Well, yeah. I think it's a little deeper than that. I mean, you're talking about an entire block of people who view words and negative response as violence. Mm-hmm. Now, I from what I've gathered in this conversation, I don't know you guys. I mean, this is our first time actually hanging out doing anything, right? But this seems to be pretty much a working class, live stream here. Like everybody here has worked their ass off. Everybody here has gotten their ass kicked at least a couple times in their life. I don't know about Chica here, but pretty much everyone.
Ass kicked right now.
Oh yeah, I've got my ass kicked, but I've also kicked some ass.
Yeah, that was a joke. But I mean, the difference though is the fact that if you come from the working class, you're used to work. You're used to, you're used to actual opposition. You're used to people pushing back not only on your ideas, not only on your success, but on the very fact that you're alive in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
And if you come from the champagne socialist bourgeois kind of life, where you can get away with, hiring, your parents will hire special tutors because you have some fucking learning disability for something. It's not that you're lazy, you have attention deficit disorder. It's not that you're lazy, you're bipolar. It's not that you're a moody cunt. You have this going on with you. Then what happens is when you actually hit
talking about me.
When you hit the actual the real world where people work, the only way that you can respond to that is to go on the attack and say that they're at fault and not take any responsibility for your actions. Now, I understand that a lot of people were hating on the idea of me bringing up Ghostbusters, but like look at Ocean's 8, for example.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I refuse to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I really, really don't think that, it's men that are the problem in this situation when women outspend men by $2.12 to every $1 a man spends. Period. I mean, it's just simple economics, but you cannot explain it in such a way because, again, words are violence. What? I mean, dude, get your head cracked open for once and then tell me that words are fucking violence. Really,
yeah. No, and not even in a fight. Like, dude, I've literally just by being stupid at a job stood up too quickly and split my fucking head open.
Yep.
And these motherfuckers think words are violent. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna beat on an inanimate object for splitting my own head open because I wasn't paying attention?
Yeah,
right. Well, what is wrong with these fucking kids that they cannot accept the fact that sometimes life hurts?
Yeah.
What
do you say, Tara?
I said, remember, I gave myself a concussion a few months ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was picking up laundry in my bathroom so I could go do laundry, and I whacked my head on a porcelain towel rod. And ended up going to the hospital because the next day because my head wouldn't stop hurting. Turns out I had a mild concussion. Shit hurts. I can take words.
Mm-hmm.
Some things will get me more than others. But for the most part, I can sit there and take words. But what do I do when they start talking shit and it actually affects me? I turn off the fucking internet.
Well, that's a whole other argument that I find rather amusing. Is that the entire millennial generation does not understand the fact you can just get the fuck up and turn your phone off.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's trashing you person to person, wait until they're done, go into the bathroom, lock the door, scream, walk back out.
Yeah. Here's something amusing. It really does seem in our generation, the Gen Xers, and whatnot, because I'm on the tail end of Gen X. I'm in that lovely position where I'm not fully a Gen Xer and I'm not fully a goddamn millennial. So it's like
Generation Y. Call us Generation Lost.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever the lovely term for it is.
Gen Y. That's how I heard it described for me.
Yeah, Gen Y.
WHY, not the letter Y.
Okay. Well, but I distinctly remember the switch that occurred, and it wasn't an overnight thing, but we quite literally went from a dignity culture to an outrage culture, and that change is still being reverberated. I mean, you cannot create or make anything if you're afraid of offending people. You just cannot do it. I mean, and the fact that the whole way that terms of service, end-user license agreements, and now in certain countries, UK, law is handled is over whether or not someone is offended by your speech, offended by your actions. I mean, that won't stand for long. But the very fact that that is the current paradigm is incredibly dangerous. I mean, it's quite risky to start a conversation with a stranger at this point because you don't know if they're going to decide to prosecute you or not. I mean, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. I mean, I'll pass the floor back over.
Or there's also a video of where, they're saying, oh, if you see a girl with her headphones on, it means she doesn't want to be bothered. Honestly, if you see me with my headphones on, it's probably because I'm enjoying some sweet fucking music. And feel free to ask me what I'm listening to. But if I put them back on while you're in the middle of talking, that means I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, when I was in 9th and 10th grade, I went to, there was now the local high school that they got over here for the juveniles before they put you in juvie hall. They have the precursor to juvie hall is Brenner. That's the last stop. That's basically, it's basically like out student juvie hall. Instead of going to school every day, you go to this place.
The school.
Yeah. Now, the last stop before there was the Alternative Learning Center. It goes Alternative Learning Center, Brenner, and after Brenner, it goes Juvie Hall. I went to the Alternative Learning Center. I wasn't bad enough to go to Brenner. So I used to have to go in. School would start for me at like 10:30. I think something like 10:30 in the morning, and it would go to 1 o'clock for 9th and 10th grade. The seniors and the juniors, they would go in at like 7 o'clock. So because I went in later in 9th and 10th grade, I would go in with my father in the morning and work over at the fish market when he had the fish route up over at Two Cousins in Freeport on the Nautical Mile. Now, when my father was working the fish market, he would get warts on his hands from working with certain fish. The way that my father would deal with this, I've seen him do it a bunch of times. He would take out his Swiss Army knife and he would cut the warts off of his hands. He would then take the corkscrew and he would wrap it around the root of the warts and he would pull them out of his hands. He would then take the cigarette lighter of his of his van, and he would burn this. He would cauterize these wounds. Then he would take crazy glue, put it over the freshly cauterized wounds, and then go about his day.
Go back to work.
Yeah. These kids could not handle
Creative.
hair of that.
He didn't fucking
Creative.
surgery and went back to the fight. Like, what the fuck? Oh.
Yeah.
I love your dad's duct tape and bubblegum solution.
Oh man, the duct tape.
My father, may he rest in peace. He was a Korean War veteran. He was a UDT. They don't make them like that no more. He was stationed on the USS Valley Forge. I was raised old school by that man. Let me tell you, these kids nowadays, holy shit, they're like that friggin' cotton that my wife has on those tampons that she gets, like the outside of them. That's what these kids are like. Seriously.
Damn,
We
that
got
damn
6
song.
with us. 6.
Yeah.
What up,
Hey, what's up, man? Happy Turkey Day,
Next 6 minutes. Happy Thanksgiving.
How you guys doing? I'm just swinging by to say hi. I'm still entertaining guests over here, so just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And
Hey, real quick, Six, would you tell what you're thankful for?
for what?
What you're thankful for?
What I'm thankful for?
Yes.
A lot of things. Good friends, good health, good conversation, good opportunity as far as making a little money, so on and so forth. Had a good ham this evening. So it's just a lot of things. Certainly, the opportunity to do more with the opportunities that I've been afforded, and I guess that's what I'm thankful for.
So generic.
Well, I have to be going, but I just wanted to stop by and say hi, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. And
if we all say hi to
Happy Turkey Genocide Day, man.
So 6, you made a ham for dinner?
I made a ham.
So did I.
You know, I'll be honest. I was expecting it to be turkey casserole.
Well, you know, the ham that I made tonight is going to be made into ham casserole.
Of course it is.
Maybe a mac and cheese and ham casserole. I don't know.
Oh,
That sounds good.
Yeah, or maybe a green bean with the crispy onions and ham casserole. I don't know. Something
I
with
had
ham.
that tonight.
Some would ham.
Yeah.
Giving me dinner
I
ideas.
I make a turkey enchilada casserole with the leftover turkey.
There you go. Listen,
That sounds good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Well, you guys continue to have a great conversation, and again, happy Thanksgiving, and everybody have a great evening.
Happy
Dude,
Thanksgiving.
All right,
Happy
6 man.
Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna have to get that enchilada recipe off you, Queen.
All right, sounds good.
Who's gonna make it? The missus or the old lady?
Me.
Did that quite affirmatively right there.
They cannot cook turkey.
All right, I want to rewind back on something right quick, like what Carl said again about when they started talking about Ocean 8. Now, my thing with that went down with Ocean 8 is like it's like after the trailer had dropped and all that right there, they had started making excuses for why this movie was gonna fail before the movie even came out. And I'm saying this ain't I'm saying, you know, this is like, you know, all the freaking not even mainstream media and all that shit like that who were doing everything they could to push this movie, but the stars themselves and shit like that. And I kind of hated that too because, you know, this movie had my girl Helena Bonham Carter in that, man, and I love her fucking work. Anything that she's done and stuff like that, especially what she did with Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp and all this stuff right there. I love that motherfucker.
Oh, I love
when she played the
Johnny
queen.
Sweeney Todd. Nah,
Yeah.
fuck Alice in Wonderland. Sweeney Todd.
You know a movie's gonna be bad when they make the excuses beforehand.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I hate it too, man, because, you know, I love this woman and anything that she does right here and everything. And I love her parts in this movie too. But yeah, it's like the movie, it just didn't freaking do so well because, you know, it tried so hard to push this fucking, you know, women power, you know, like we can do this and that and all that right there, and, you know, all this fucking, you know, feminist bullshit, which everybody expected, you know, and of course, you know, it did all right in the movie because it didn't have no fucking competition that damn weekend. But compared to the old school Oceans and all this stuff right there, it didn't fucking hold a candle to any of them.
Hey, Pat, you want to hear something that's going to cheer you up?
What up?
Hey, Ma, what do you think about all these remakes that they're making with the feminism? Like the Ghostbusters.
I don't watch any of that crap. I can't watch those actors, and when I see them and I know what they said and what they did, I can't even look at them that they're discussing people. I don't watch anything. You know what I watch? Fox News and the Cooking Channel. That's where I'm, and once in a while 21, because there's nobody on there that's famous. I can't watch those people. I can't look at them.
Hi, Estelle.
Dara says hello, Ma.
Right, that does make you feel good.
Yeah, my mother, well, this is the thing. My mother was there in the 60s when there was, like the feminists running around. And she does not like these new feminists. And this is the thing. I'm the youngest 7. I got 5 older sisters.
They're crazy.
Not my sisters. She means the feminists.
Stop raising effing there, okay?
He means
Yeah.
There's something mentally wrong with them. They're all deranged. They've got something wrong in their head.
I know. But that's what we were just talking about.
I'm saying now.
Glorious.
Oh, we know that and stuff like that now.
Yeah, we talk.
Which you're going to be so jealous. I'm going to New York to visit Scooby.
From the U.S. to the UK, man, the feminists are getting nuts and stuff like that. Especially the ones that that damn and demonize sex workers, but yet they fucking get naked on their goddamn shit. Like what? I think what's going on Twitter right now? The Oxford bitch from UK who's getting naked for Brexit and all this stuff right there. Don't even know what the fuck she's talking about, but she just used that as a motherfucking excuse to get butt ass naked. And I'm like, somebody was asking like, why do these people always get naked for their causes? I'm like, hell, that's what it is. These people are undercover exhibitionists. They claim that they hate these type of people and stuff like that, but yet they do it for themselves, to try to push their cause. And I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, yeah. Like, you just like all these motherfucking people out there, who are exhibitionists, but at least they honest with their stuff right here. You gotta use any type of excuse, oh, I'm fighting for this cause, or I'm fighting for that cause to get butt ass naked or get lewd in public. And I'm like, that's a sad life to live right there. Be honest with the shit.
About that, man, is the fact that not only will they get buck ass naked, but then they'll yell at you if you look at them. It's like, wait, what? You're getting naked in public, and what? Huh? How? Can you life even? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you get buck ass naked in public, and you yell at people for looking at you. You're buck ass naked in public,
right?
Yeah.
No.
That's I got a strike on Twitter, and they made me take away the tweet. I wrote something to Chrissy Teigen, because she put up something else again where it was more nude pictures of her, and it was some sort of cause, and I said to her something along the lines of the effect of any excuse to bombard us with more nude pictures of yourself. And they gave me a strike for that and made me take down the tweet.
Because you told them the truth.
Yeah. Look, she's a beautiful woman. My wife is a beautiful woman. I don't want to see pictures of my wife out there. And, this is the thing. I mean, I've been told I'm a nice-looking guy. I'm not going to go parading around out there for people. I mean, what the hell is the matter with these people?
They're attention seekers.
They're attention whores.
Yeah, exactly. But yet it's like how you say, the people who are attention seekers, and they'll just like put them out there for the get-go, because they'll say, oh, I'm just doing this because I want attention. Those are the ones who they'll shame, they'll demonize, they'll call whores, and like all that stuff right there. They'll put them down left and right, but yet they'll do the exact same thing, but say, like, oh, this is for this cause, oh, this is for women power, this is for equal rights, this is for whatever type of bullshit that they're pushing. I'm like, no, this is just for your own personal attention, because you're trying to get your fucking kinks off. Just own that shit. Like how the people who do put their like nudes or stuff like that and say like, oh, I'm just doing this for attention. What do you guys think?
They rank right up there. Well, for me, they rank right up there with hypochondriacs. Bunch of whiners. I'm going to be 40 in April. My thing is this.
I'm older than you.
Life, apparently. My thing is, my entire life I've lived here in New York. I've seen it all. And in the past, maybe 4 years, they've had this trend where these people are running around nude. And my thing is this. Why? It doesn't draw any attention to your cause. people don't give a shit why you're doing this. If you're good looking, they're going there to oogle you, and if you're bad looking, they're going there to point at you and laugh. I mean, it's a 50-50. You're
It's a
not getting
college-
shit accomplished.
Yeah. Around
Yeah,
midterm
like that.
final exams here, you see a lot of buck-ass naked people. New colleges.
You know, the girl who basically lives like around my neighborhood. I'm good friend. I was good friends with this girl, and unfortunately, she's a lot younger than me. She's one of the younger girls, and I was talking to her one day, and I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty much at this point, I think she's like involved with Antifa. And I was talking to her at one point, and she's telling me about, well, you know, these guys, they were paying attention to me, and they were listening to me because she went to Manhattan, and she was basically running around topless, talking to people. And I told her as nicely as I could, I said, it's because you got guns that could sink the Bismarck. It's the only reason they were paying attention to what you were saying. Seriously, you're standing there broad daylight with your brights on. That's the only reason they were giving you the time of day.
And the wild part is she knows that deep down inside they don't give a fuck about your Antifa cause or nothing like that. You got the bad boys out, shit. That's a motherfucking attention grabber, yeah, especially for somebody like me, because I'll tell you shit. Like right now, free the nipple. I still don't know what the fuck free the nipple's about and stuff like that. All I know is hell shit. Girls had their titties out. Some were good, some were nice, some was like, oh, put that shit back on. But hey, you know, that's what. But that's what it was. It's like, you know, shit. You put something that's sexually attractive out there and everything, and you know, you talking about, oh, this is what it's called. This cause. I don't know what the hell the cause about. I see titties, therefore I am.
Well, to answer your question, free the nipple.
I love your philosophy.
Dudes can walk around on the beach with their shirt off.
Holy fuck, Blackman Descartes, I see titties, therefore I am. Oh, I had to. I'm losing a battle over this. Holy Christ! Back my video game. Excuse me.
You know, the beaches by me, they've been topless since I think like '91, and a lot of people don't realize that we even got nude beaches up here. And these people, they'll do anything, so now they're even running around in my city balls naked. But the thing is, like, I seen them, I think it was maybe last summer, and there was a few of them, they're standing there, and they're looking over at me. I'm leaning up against a post. I think I was on, like, the corner of 2nd and 5th. And I flat out told them, I said, hey, look, I'm just eating my gyro. If I'm staring, I can't help it. I said, you're not wearing any clothing. I said, there's really nothing else interesting in eye shot, so I'm eating my gyro, don't mind me. You know.
Okay, I have to. So you were eating a metallic piece of equipment. Didn't that hurt your teeth?
Hey, gyro. Sorry, we're gonna be anal retention. Pronunciation. You know
I
what?
had to.
I say gyro, and I hear people say it's gyro. I say, okay, let me get a gyro. It's gyro. Okay, let me get a gyro. Excuse me, it's gyro. You know what? Fuck it. I'm calling it a gyro.
I don't care what people call it, but when they call it a gyro, I have to bust their balls about it.
You know, I only say that because like 90% of the people I talk to call it a gyro.
I call it a euro because
yeah, so did I. My best friends were Greek. I grew up hearing that, but then I was talking to different people, and depending, like, because there's so many thousands of Greek islands, and there's those peninsulas, and then you got the Balkans. There's all different pronunciations. I just say gyro. I'm an American.
Well, I mean, there's this Greek restaurant in town, and if you order a gyro in that restaurant, they will say there's a hardware store down the street. So you have to order a euro. They will literally say the hardware store's down there. They will literally point you to the hardware store if you say, I want a gyro.
Baby brother, I need you to go and get on your Discord.
Oh, are your brothers in the chat?
Yes, he is.
Hey, Kel.
About to get a link.
Hey, Kelt, how are you?
Uh,
Get to hear how Thanksgiving was down in Alabama. Cool.
He had to spend it with his mother, so it probably was horrible.
Well, I definitely do want to come down there and try to visit your brother. I want to check out Alabama. I've never been down there.
It's boring as fuck.
I'm a boring person. I actually want to go check out all the fish farms because I'm interested in that. Believe me,
You guys have no idea. I keep hearing people say this, that, and the third about me. If people got to realize how boring I am, this accent is what people think I'm interesting because I got this ridiculous accent. No, I'm a dull
literally
person.
almost lost that battle because of you, fucking Pat. Like, seriously.
What up?
I'm good though. I'm good. I won.
Let me go find my fireworks, Scoob. I'll make you unboring.
This is like the fourth time you brought it up, man, and I'm a little curious. Like, where did that doxing nonsense start up? Because I heard about that shit because you're in my Discord, and I'm just like, I don't fucking care. You know, he hasn't said anything to me, and we barely interact, so it's not exactly a major problem. What do you mean? Give me evidence. No evidence.
I'll tell you. It's actually it's so absurd and ridiculous.
Okay.
One of the kids in my server, someone had accused this kid like a year or two ago because something had happened accidentally. And one of the kids on his stream had accidentally doxed himself, and they tried to say because it was this kid's stream, it was his fault.
Well, so it wasn't an accident. I watched that stream. He did it outright.
No, I mean, but the kid who was hosting the stream, they said it was his fault.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so the kid who had hosted the stream was in my server, and he was a little skittish. And I had started up a separate channel for just like people I was friends with, because I had a lot of people that were coming into the server at that point, and I didn't really know a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And people were like weighing in on shit, so I made a separate channel with only like maybe about a dozen and a half people in there. Yeah. And so this kid was one of the people in there, and he's like, so what is this, your doxing channel like in Kraut server? So just to fuck with this kid, specifically I did this because Sally Cohen had made it a point to cut a video about how she's putting out all of her personal information. She doesn't care. You can dox her. She's not afraid of it. And anytime someone did anything to Sally Cohen, she would write a 5-page expose and cut a 15-minute thing on CNN detailing about what had happened to her, because that's what she does. So when he asked me, is this a doxing server? As to fuck with him, I sent him her information and the thing. I said, whatever do you mean? And he freaked the fuck out. And next thing you know, I wake up like a week later with this shit reprinted where I'm a doxer. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. And when they brought it up, I even said on air, I'm like, I did this to this kid specifically because Sally Cohn put her information out there and said, dox me, I don't care. People took the bait and kept this woman's career afloat an extra 2 years longer than it should have been. Basically why, that's basically what this doxing shit that I got accused of, that was it. I was busting a kid's balls with some woman's information that specifically cut a video saying dox me. And so I said, okay. So I did it. So I did it to fuck with this kid, and everyone's like, Scooby's a doxer. And I'm like, blow it out your ass. I was fucking with the kid. But these younger people, they don't understand nuance. And it's actually kind of scary.
They don't understand the word joke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They can't differentiate from it. And that's actually what scares me, is this is the thing. These people all claim that they were right-wing, and they all claim that they were Trump supporters. But I've noticed this with this generation. It doesn't matter which way they vote or how they believe politically. They all use the same tactics, and they all approach things the same way. They try to destroy people. And look, that's really some unhealthy shit. I would never do that to somebody. I mean, I got a problem with you. If it really comes down to it, I'll either tell you go fuck yourself, or if I want retribution, I'll say, you want to step outside and we can handle this? Or if not, if it's not in person, I'll tell somebody, look, we can meet somewhere. We'll go down to the local Y and hop in their boxing ring and mix it up if you got a problem. I'd like to handle it like gentlemen, or we can get into some gangster shit, to quote the man, seriously. Like, and that's where this doxing shit came from, is I even explained to these kids calmly, and they told me, they said, this is why I was comparing them to the Red Guard, because you can't even make a joke. You can't even say something like not like dicking around. Like, this woman was known for putting out if Steven Crowder made a fucking 15-minute video making fun of Sally Cohen, cutting this video about dox me, I don't care. She's the same one that started Hands Up, Don't Shoot. She's an attention whore.
And how can you dox a public figure?
Yeah.
They're in the public eye. You can
She
get
actually-
their information anytime.
Well, she held a press conference and gave her information out to the public. That's what I'm saying.
So she already doxed herself, so and then you passing that dox around is not doxing. The fuck is wrong with people?
Right. And that's why I got accused of being a doxer. And this is why I was so pissed off, like, when everyone was telling me, nah, I'm not talking to you. You're a doxer. I'm like, you fucking kidding me?
Plus,
None
the
of
people
you-
making the accusations were very obviously trying to jump on the drama train for content.
Oh yeah, because it's the same people that did that to Scooby did a gay ops on me and tried to out me saying I was a doxer. So
Plus, they all associate with other YouTubers that were caught up in gay op shit just recently, too. So. I'm not trying to throw guilt by association out there, but fuck it, I am guilt by association.
Oh, see, I just find it interesting because I've always found that just asking the source directly is the best method. But then
Yeah, go straight to the source.
What?
Yeah, go straight to the source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to misunderstand what the fuck I'm saying when I'm right here talking directly to you.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it drives me nuts because...
It's like the old game Telephone.
Yeah, I fucking hate telephone, man. That shit's crazy.
Anyway.
It was entertaining in elementary school, like second grade, but
Yeah. Anyway, I am past time and I'm gonna be late, so I gotta scram. Catch y'all later.
It was good talking to you again,
All
brother.
right.
Happy Thanksgiving. Well, he's got to go back on shift. He's currently keeping this country safe. Good man.
No,
you know.
Hey, baby
But-
brother.
Hey, sis.
So what
I
are
didn't
you
even
thankful
say
for?
hello to you, Kelt. I'm sorry. Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
What are
Happy
you thankful
Turkey.
for, baby brother?
And even to those across the northern border, I don't know if they celebrate it too.
Yeah, theirs was last month.
Yeah, I'm going to visit Irv next
Is
year.
that
He's
when
coming
they
to visit
discovered
me.
maple syrup?
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. Make
Is that the day they invented hockey?
So
He's not even fucking paying attention.
I am.
He's
What are
ignoring
you
you.
thankful for?
Oh my God, am I gonna rehash all you guys'? Oh, I'm so thankful for y'all. Y'all did it. I didn't do it. I'm thankful that man, I didn't murder a fucking retarded man. Okay, like,
She was asking her brother, bro.
Yeah, and you guys are all right too. Like, I mean, but yeah, no, y'all went really sincere and from the heart. And I'm at this point, if I tried to do something like that, I'd just be blowing smoke up your asses. I really enjoy you guys. You know I do. I'm not gonna fucking pull that shit. I'm just really glad I didn't kill a retarded kid.
Irv, my brother is on. I was asking him what he's thankful for.
Oh shit. Just let me turn my camera off. Holy fuck.
Oh, good lord.
Well, I'm thankful for that. Thankful for my sis. Thankful that she has, what, is it a boyfriend now?
Still kind of, sort of. It's not official until I move up there.
Hey, he's good people. You got no idea, bro. When I seen your sister and him in DC, I was happy. It's rare you see people that got a natural chemistry. And
Well, separating Adam been easier than separating them.
They just had good chemistry. And I dug that, man. You know what I'm saying? I like seeing people be happy.
Oh yeah.
I'm one of those people. I like romance. Like when I was younger, I was never. I didn't try to be a philanderer or a womanizer. You try to make it work. I would have had no problem being a one woman man. I'm old fashioned like that. The hell do you need to go out there and like nail like a dozen different broads for? You find one woman and she's a good woman and treats you good. The fuck you got to go out and like sew your oats for? Like that was never my thing. And when I see two people and they got a relationship and you can just tell that they click, just gives you a good feeling seeing that blossom in front of you. Like that's cool. And it was cool to see the two of them just bond. They clicked. You'd think that they were together for years, and you don't see that. It was natural, and it was cool to see. You're very lucky because your sister found a good guy. You're lucky on that, man, because I got 5 sisters. Only one married good, and she was the crazy one. That poor bastard, I feel bad for him. I'm going to go top off my beer. I think I'm going to tie one on. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
So did you have to have Thanksgiving with your mother?
It was okay. I had the other hens there.
You had the other what?
The other, my mom's side of the family, they were there.
Oh, okay. So they were able to kind of save you from her nutsiness?
Yeah, actually, like I cooked a pumpkin pie. I left it in Mom's car, and I wanted to go get it. Asked her if she could lend me her keys, and at first she refused to give me the keys. Said that she had to go with me, and the cousin's like, "Why?" And she goes on this rant about how she doesn't trust strangers, and she's like, "That's great and all, but what does that have to do with your son getting something from the car?" And she eventually gave in and loaned me the keys. So I got the pie out. He came back and said, "Hey, Mom, I didn't drive off with your car."
I mean, it would be one thing if, I was there asking for the keys, because I would literally drive off with the car because I hate your mother. But, of course, I would wait for her to be in front of the car so I could run her over. But
Your family relationship.
I wouldn't be able to pull you out of jail.
What?
I wouldn't be able to get you out of jail.
I'm not worried about that. I'll sit my happy ass in there with a big ass grin on my face. Judge looks at me and goes, "You know why you're in here?" "Yes." "Why?" "I ran my stepmother over." "I'll take the time." No, none of you guys have any idea. I fucking hate my stepmother. I cannot stand this woman. The only good thing that came out of my daddy and this woman marrying were my brother and sister. That's the only good thing.
Yikes.
Yeah, she's not without her reasons to hate her either.
Let me put it this way, and I've said this to a ton of people, and I have no problem saying it on air. This woman killed my father, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
Whoa.
He had a stroke in front of her, and she said she was going to call an ambulance. He said, "No, I'll be fine." And she still didn't call the ambulance. "I'm sorry, take the ass whooping later and save your husband's life." No, she sat there and let him die.
Oh, that's fucked up.
For her, it was religious indoctrination that did that to her. She was taught to always obey her husband.
I could give 2 flying shits about what her reasons are.
I don't care if it's a religious indoctrination or not. That's a human being. You sitting there watching another human being dying, knowing that you can save their life.
And
then
what
the fuck is wrong with people?
After calling his family to let them know he had died, she waited 4 hours before calling me, and I'm the oldest child.
You said your mom didn't know that he was having a stroke? That shit's obvious. Your face starts drooping, your speech starts slurring. That's fucking obvious.
Well, this is the first time I heard it called a stroke. Doctors told my family that it was a heart failure.
No, it was a stroke. Daddy had thrombosis from being run over by that semi. No shit. I was about...
Is your stepmother a Christian Scientist, out of curiosity?
No, she's a Christian nutbag.
Okay. No, I was just wondering because like that's the only like sect of religion that I know of where you cannot contact the besides the Amish actually that you can't contact
No,
medical
see,
authorities.
she was raised Victorian style, where whatever your husband says goes.
Okay, that's crazy, but sure.
So I can't. If Mom knew that not calling the ambulance would have killed Dad, I can't believe that she would not have called the ambulance.
She knew it would kill him.
I don't think she did. This is
No,
Mom we're talking about.
No. I talked to her. You were at school. She knew it would kill him. She flat out said, "Well, I told your daddy he was gonna die, and he said I'll be fine, so I didn't call an ambulance."
Oh, that's all kinds of twisted.
It still don't matter if a person says they're fine. You either call an ambulance or you drag their ass to the fucking hospital. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
And when I said, "Well, why didn't you still call an ambulance?" she said, "Well, your father told me not to." And that's when I was done.
So he deserved it because he should have just listened to me. That's all kinds of passive aggressive and quality.
But then again, I never liked this woman from the beginning.
Well, she is a step parent. That's stereotypical.
No, I like my stepdad.
Okay.
You know, I do understand their logic. The last 18 months my father was alive, he could have just had a simple open heart surgery that would have saved his life, but he refused. And I spent 1.5 years taking care of him while he slowly died. And I tried talking him into the surgery, and I tried talking to my mother about it, and they would just, he had already had open heart surgery. He didn't want to go under the knife again. And he had
I get
lived
it.
a long
Your
life.
dad was, ready to go. My daddy still had a lot of life left in him.
I gotcha. I'm just saying, I understand where they're coming from with their religious nonsense. You know, my parents were kind of into, like the whole earth is flat, dirt worshiping Christian mumbo jumbo too. Believe me, I know all about it. And
but see, Scooby, I see where your dad's coming from because he lived his life. He had, made it, had it, thinking to himself like, look, I've lived a good life. My kids are grown. I got to see them grow up. I've already been through 1 heart surgery, and that is no walk in the park. They have to.
It was his 3rd one.
That's why, a 4th one? Nah. He's like, nah, I've lived a good life. Just let me die in peace.
I'm saying I can understand where they're coming from with their religious point of view. I mean, even though folks like us, we see it as being a little bit absurd and asinine, it's because we're a little bit more modern. That's why I identify as progressive, only because my parents were stuck in the 16th fucking century. That's one of the reasons I always, I lean that way because, I believe in vaccinations, I believe in things of that nature. I believe in a lot of scientific things. That's why I always, science marches the fuck on. That's why I will always lean progressively. But I will always honor people's beliefs to an extent. And it makes me sad when I hear that, Tara, that you lost your father to something like that. But, I mean, I understand that what this woman did contribute to this, but I don't think it was malice. It was their belief system is more of it than anything.
No. What it was is she was raised Victorian.
Right.
Therefore, whatever her husband said goes. It doesn't matter, the fact that, it was killing him.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying I don't want to take...
It wasn't a religious thing. It was the fact that she is literally retarded. No fucking joke. And my daddy married her only to have more children. These were his words to me at the age of 16 because I asked him why he married such a dumb cow.
So, I'm going to hate myself for putting it like this and you're going to be mad at me. So she was raised to honor her husband's wishes, correct? No matter what.
Yeah.
And it was his wishes for her to do exactly what he said and not call an ambulance and not send him to the hospital.
I don't give a fuck. She should have called in the fucking ambulance.
I know.
This was sudden
Mom is
onset.
mental and never took meds.
I'm saying is, I hate
Here's
saying
the thing.
this. I know.
Let me put it this way, Scooby.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her, my brother and sister got taken from them when my daddy was still alive by DCF. And so the only reason why she was able to keep them was because of my daddy.
No, I understand
was
everything
the one
you're
doing
saying.
The raising. She had no brain cells to do so. You have no idea the stuff that my brother and I have discussed, and I have been trying to actually help him through because of my stepmother, because he lived with her after finally getting out of that fucking ranch and bouncing from foster home to foster home.
No, I understand all that. I'm not saying I'm not having trouble following that. It's just it is unfortunate, but she was, I hate saying it, she was just honoring his wishes.
No, she was being a dumb cunt.
I understand what he was
sudden
with.
onset. This came, yeah. Tara's dad had deep vein thrombosis from getting hit by a semi. Okay.
Right.
But him dying of whether it be a heart attack or a stroke, it's very simple. Call the fucking ambulance. I don't care if my man had a DNR order. I'm going to save his life. You know, it is what it is. That's just my nature. Like, no, I'm not going to let my significant other lay there and die. No. Like, she should have...
I understand completely what you're all saying, but my thing is this. This was their relationship as they had... They were in this relationship under these stipulations. This was the score was he laid down the law and she would listen to it. And I don't agree with that sort of a relationship, but they were in that and that's what they enjoyed. And the thing is,
this is why you always have a will, because she was honoring his wishes, but at the same time, it's like, no, I want to, if you're married to this person and you're in love with them, you do everything in your power to keep this person on this earth. Who wants to die? Nobody wants to die, but it's inevitable. But she could have saved his life. Tara would still have her dad, and she would still have her husband. It's just simple.
But my thing is, part of the reason my mother didn't push for my father to get that operation is because my mother and father had the same sort of relationship, fucked up as it sounds. My father wasn't exactly a taskmaster. He was an easy guy. But my thing is, like, you can be mad at the woman, but I'm saying don't hate her. Don't do that to yourself.
Oh, no. Scooby. I hated this woman before this.
All right, that's a different thing.
I've hated hers before my brother was born.
State zita la boca. Come on. Shh. Come on. I'm on the air. What's the matter with you?
And I can see where Tara's coming from, because my mom's only been with one man her entire life. They separated. They've been legally separated for 15 years. My mom started dating another man. And it was, number one, it was weird because I've never seen my mom with another man. Mm-hmm. Second thing, I didn't like him because he was taking my mom for a ride, and I tried to tell her, Mom, he's taking everything from you. He's stealing from you. And she had to learn on her own. She finally got rid of him. And I've never liked him for two simple reasons. One, I've only seen my mom with one man, and this man tried to tell me what to do, whatever. Nah, I've never liked him. Second thing is you're taking my mom for a ride, because as God is my witness, I will fucking blast somebody over my mom. Like, you fuck with my mom, that's your ass. And I threatened to burn down this guy's house. Like, nah, you fuck with my mom's, that's your life. Or if you fuck with any of my family, even my piece of shit sister, you fuck with her, that's your ass. Regardless of the fucked up shit.
Exactly when I hated this woman. my daddy used to take me camping all the time. And my stepmother decided she was going to go with us one time. And she was actually pregnant with my brother at the time. And mind you, I already didn't like her because my daddy had agreed that he was going to discuss it with me before he married any one of the women he was messing around with. And I was, probably about 9. Yeah, because a year later, my brother was born when he married her. And we went camping. Now, my daddy, as usual, forgot to buy food in advance. So we went to the campground, and he told me, not my stepmother, me, to get the fire ready. Well, she thought that just meant gathering wood, because he had gone to the store to go get hot dogs. Well, there's this big old stump I rolled over, and I get all the wood around it, and I stuff, dried pine needles up under it and everything like that. And I go to grab Daddy's matches because he smoked the pipe. And she snatches the matches from me and says, what do you think you're doing? I was like, I'm getting the fire ready. And she's like, no, your daddy wanted you to just get the fire set up, not get it started. And I looked at her and I snatched the matches back. I said, he said to get the fire ready. That means get the fire ready. And she actually had the gall to smack my hand and say, that is not what he meant. And I looked at her and I flat out told her, I said, you hit me again and you're going in the fire. And I pulled out of my duffel bag a lighter that my mom had put in there for getting the fire started. And I lit the fire, and she flipped out. And she told my daddy that, I had started the fire, and she's wigging out. And he's like, well, that's what I wanted her to do. And she's like, you wanted an 8-year-old? And I looked at her, I said, I'm fucking 9. And yes, I said the fucking to her. And she flips around and she's like, children aren't supposed to use foul language. And I looked at her, I said, well, whoop-de-fucking do.
Yeah, I wasn't even up until I was, I think, maybe in my late 20s. If I would use certain language in front of my father, he'd box my ears. Holy shit!
Man. Oh no! See, my daddy wasn't allowed to do that because he learned the last time when he spanked me for cussing, I slapped him across the face and told him if he ever fucking spanked me again, I was gonna kick his ass. And he just looks at me and he goes, "Yep, you're definitely your mother's daughter."
Oh man, I mouthed off to my father once. I woke up about 45 minutes later.
I sat down.
That's all right.
That was either my dad or my mom, man.
Yeah, I think, have I ever told you, Pat, that the Sicilians have a term? It's called gazzotta. What that is, that's a backhand that they start off at the opposing shoulder, and they haul off, and they friggin' roundhouse, and they backhand you where your teeth click. That's literally the term they have for that is gazzotta, where they haul off and backhand you where you see stars.
Oh, and I want to tell everyone, in case they're wondering what I mean by my daddy was run over by a semi. I mean, literally, he was on a bicycle riding home from work one night, and a semi ran over him. He was flattened into the asphalt. An off-duty officer was driving by and saw a pile of rags and a dented-up bicycle on the side of the road. So he was actually, because he also worked with one of those things where kids rebuild bikes and they get to use them. He was calling to get someone to grab the bike. And so my daddy hears him and he waves his good arm and says, "Hey, I'm hurt. Can you help me? And literally, the cop just thought it was just a pile of dirty rags over on the side of the road. They had to, like, damn near literally use a spatula to get my daddy's face out of the pavement. He lost an eye. His entire face and sinuses were crushed. He bit off, I think it was like an eighth of his tongue.
Damn.
Lost most of his front teeth. All that is still on the highway in Tallahassee. He lost 5 inches of height. It shattered one of his femurs. And he had to have his jaw wired shut because like I said, his entire face was fucking crushed. So my mom gets a call at about 2:00 in the morning, and it's my daddy's mother calling, telling us what happened to daddy. And my mom wakes me up, and she has me come downstairs, and she's like, "Baby, I got something to tell you." And I knew it was late at night. My dad was there. My stepdad was there. My mom was there. So something was wrong. So I immediately start crying. And she's like, "Baby, I haven't even told you." And I just looked at her. I said, "What's wrong with daddy?" I just knew. And so she told me about a week later, when daddy was conscious, because they had him on a respirator for a while. We drove up to Tallahassee to see him, and I remember seeing him and hiding behind my mom because, as far as I could tell, that was not my daddy. That was fucking Frankenstein. I actually have a picture in my Google Photos of my brother as a baby, or not a baby. And luckily, my daddy, my brother and I look more like my daddy than our sister does. We've had so many people say that. And when I was up in Alabama, we had our cousin Conan come over, and no shit, that's actually his middle name is Conan.
I got a cousin Conan.
And he had us stand side by side, and he's like, "Geez, you guys do look like my uncle." Because he hadn't seen me or my brother since the funeral. But it took years for daddy to recover. Everything was paid for by the Marines. And he was on disability for a while, and he fought so hard to get off of it. And he should not have survived being run over by a semi on a bicycle. He should not have survived that, but he did. Hence the reason why I say he had a lot more years left in him. He didn't have blood clotting issues beforehand. So that was literally due to the semi running him over and messing up his blood and his veins.
You know, it's really ironic. Tara, I told you that my friend passed away. I have to look. It's been a few years since I actually checked, but it was within like either today or tomorrow or yesterday, within like this area. And it isn't what he passed away from, but when we were teenagers, he actually got hit by a semi-truck also. And he was a very good friend of mine, and he passed away. And that's part of the reason I'm having this beer today, is out of not just because of, you know, it's Thanksgiving and for a serviceman, but also, you know, I'm mourning a friend that I lost. And he actually also is the only other person I ever know that got hit by an 18-wheeler semi-truck, and he survived. And
I'll tell you right now, my daddy would berate you for drinking beer out of a can.
I would expect him to, but out of respect for the fact that Jim Cook and Sam Adams spent 2 years and $1.5 million just researching to make a can. They spent a lot of money making a can that they claimed is better than a bottle, and you know what? I'll give it credit. Holy shit, this is a good beer.
Remember, quality work takes quality time.
What'd you say, baby brother?
I've seen Dad drink beer from a can.
When he couldn't afford the good shit. Remember, Daddy was a beer connoisseur. He preferred expensive beer over beer that tasted like piss.
Look, it's an American holiday. Do not make me shit on American beer by saying Irish beer is better. Oh, wait, I already just did it. Never mind. Seriously. Come on. I mean, look, I love my country. I'm second-generation American. My parents were born here, but I'll give credit where credit's due. We got to really work a hard, long way to get up to the level that the Irish are on with their beer.
No, y'all need to get y'all shit together.
Favorite beer
It's liquor
was a black and tan.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mississippi Mud, which is what he could get in Tennessee when he lived there.
You know, I do not particularly care for black and tans just because of their name. Seriously. I told you my grandfather was a founding member of the IRA, right?
Yes.
And their song, the Wolf Tones constantly sing it, "Come out, ye black and tans." That was the name of the English mercenaries that they used to send in to kill the Irish Catholics. Come out, ye black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Come out and tell your wife how we met you down in Flanders. Yeah.
There we go. There's my daddy.
Your dad is fucking epic. That's so awesome. I'm loving the beret and the fucking eye patch right off and the fucking salt and pepper beard. Oh my god, this guy is awesome.
You see that little tyke in his arm?
That Celt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're adorable.
You see that little thing in... You can tell which one's me.
Yes, I can tell. You were cute even as a teenager.
That little tyke in my arms is our baby sister.
Mm-hmm.
And this monstrous thing over here is the sow that pushed them out.
Be nice.
No.
Look, Grace Under Fire.
I love that show.
It's actually an expression that was appropriated by liberals. I'm saying, try to be a little bit gracious. Believe me.
Scooby, you have met me. Is that possible?
Yes, it is. I think that you can be gracious. You're patient with me, and I can be a colossal asshole. So if you can be gracious with me, you can.
Scooby, that's because I like you.
All right, understood. Fair enough.
I like you. I can be gracious. I've never liked this woman. No. And what's worse is our sister is actually just as religious as their mother. And she completely hates her mother.
You know, I got no problem with religion as long as you weigh it against common sense.
Mm-hmm.
I say this as someone who's raised like traditionalist, old school Catholic. You know, strap them to the fucking stake if they're a heretic type Catholic. You know, I was raised in that sort of an environment. And look, I'm sorry. That's part of the reason I started to, I don't like to say I lean left on a lot of things, you know, because the left are nuts. But I do agree with them on a lot of things. And one of the things I did always agree with them on is it's not anything worth killing people over, like religious beliefs and faith. I sum up religion and faith as one thing and one thing, and I put it to some people like this once, and they laughed out loud. Some of them, others got offended. If you laugh out loud, good. If you get offended, I'm sorry. But the way I look at it is faith and belief are like chicken. And what I mean by that is everyone on the planet eats chicken. It's the only animal pretty much everyone consumes. Everyone on the planet has their own way that they cook it. And they're going to tell you their way is the best way. And they're going to argue with you that they don't want to try it your way until you try it their way. Religion and faith are the same.
That's why we have a cook-off. Furry and Finley says there's a huge difference between colossal asshole and stupid Sal. And they're right.
I guess, are we talking about Hillary Clinton and Elizabeth Warren, or?
No, we're talking about you versus my stepmother.
Y'all have seen that Elizabeth Warren meme, right? In the Jeep.
Oh God, which one?
The one where it says, "I went out and bought a Jeep. I named it Elizabeth Warren. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's white."
Oh my God!
It's a white Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh,
and
that's so racist. How can you be so racist?
You know, this whole race and identity politics, it can all take a flying fuck at a roll.
Oh, man.
You know, I've been saying this for years. I started saying this in the 90s, and one of my friends, a good friend of mine, started giving me that New World Order routine, and I told him, go blow it out your ass. And I said for years, just use our social security numbers. No gender, no name, no race. You send in the social security number, and you send in your resume. And they don't see you until you get called in for the interview. Seriously. That will destroy the left. They have no platform once you do that.
Furry and Finley says, yep, and we have that, but my family uses ice cream flavors as an analogy instead of chalking. I'm sorry, Furry, but I had to say that, dude. I had to. Of course, you know, my brain is taking out the H. Because I'm a dirty, dirty girl.
I just about the whole race and politics nonsense. It's pretty fucking amazing that, like, you go back 10 years, 20 years really, but 10 years, when things lulled after 9/11 and the political correct shit went on the back burner for a minute, and people were quoting Dr. King left, right, and center. And I do find it incredibly ironic that the people that used to quote him are the ones that are judging everyone by their race. Yeah, that's pretty fucking hilarious.
Yep.
It actually... Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it actually circles back to something Pat was saying earlier. As far as, like, people in Hollywood and comic books and video games and all that, when they try to do where they represent people of different ethnic backgrounds... As someone whose father was a Sicilian, I will honestly say I don't want these people trying to represent me anymore. They fumble the fucking ball constantly. Holy shit. I would much rather where it used to be back in the day, like how it was in the like in the 80s.
Yeah. When
it was either white or black and that was it. And then in the 90s, they started, okay, we're gonna try to represent everybody. So every superhero, like DC introduced a superhero. She was of Sicilian descent. Her name was the Huntress. Okay. What is her background? Her fucking family is mafia, so she's trying to avenge the mafia. Okay. Let's introduce another one. Frank Castle. His name is anglicized from Francisco Castiglione. And what is his background? Oh, his family was murdered by the fucking mafia, so he's against the mafia. You know what I said when I looked at this? I'm like, stop trying to represent us. You're really doing a bad job. We're not all fucking mafia. My father was a fisherman, for God's sake. And it's things like that. Like, I had friends who were Indian, and I had friends who were Arab, and I had friends... You know what? None of us want to be represented because... They don't talk to us. They don't ask us our opinions. They don't do any research. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, it's when somebody handed me the Huntress and they're like, "You want to look at the new issue?" I said they should just retitle the book Facepalm. Like half of these fucking books, they should just title them Facepalm because seriously, or Cringe. They don't know what they're doing. It's one of those things. I applaud the effort. Like they had done it, and I always said, why did they wait 20 years later to do this? DC Comics had in the 90s. They introduced Milestone Comics, which was supposed to be an all African American imprint. Oh, that's fine. Why did you wait until the 90s to do it? That's one of the things. Like I was confused when that shit came. Like you know what I'm saying? Like. And then that's when I realized, because they're doing the same shit again. We're dealing with rich executives who are so detached they have no clue, so they do shit cyclically. What I mean is they do things in cycles. Like, okay, it doesn't work, we'll try it again in 5 years. And that's really because if you look at it, if you go all the way back, going as far back as like Roddenberry and Star Trek, they did the thing where they wanted to have Uhura and Kirk kiss as the first interracial on-screen kiss, and then they decide for Plato's Stepchildren. My God, I'm a nerd.
You brought up one of my major pet peeves. Nobody talks about Lucio Ball and Desi Hernandez kissing.
Desi Hernandez. Can I tell you something really quick?
Sure.
Do you know how much that fucked me up in the 90s when everyone was telling me that they were an interracial couple because they look like my parents?
I'm just saying, like nobody fucking mentions that. And by their standards, that is the first interracial kiss, and that's back in the 40s. The fucking 40s. For all that's wrong with the 40s, that was in the 40s.
And that's one of the things. That's one of the things that, like, again, not even just like with Lucille Ball, like with I Love Lucy. Going back to like Rogue One. Everyone's talking about, it's diversity and diversity. I'm like, okay, so I'll give it a shot. I'm watching it. I felt really uncomfortable because half the cast looked like my cousins. When the fuck did we become diverse? Like, seriously, what the fuck, Hollywood? Like, the cast of Godfather, the cast of Scarface. I mean, there've been Spanish and Italian actors for fucking decades in Hollywood. Are you really that fucking out of touch?
I mean, they used to use Italian actors to play Indians in old westerns.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe it's like the suspension of disbelief that I have. I can't believe that they're that inept. Like, one of the things I had pointed out, this was back in the fucking 90s, and I laughed at how ridiculous the commercial was. There was actually, and no one picked up on it, which I thought was absurd. It was years ago. It was a Petridge Farm commercial about goldfish crackers. And it was a racist fucking commercial because they showed the pretzel goldfish crackers as representing Black Americans. And I'm sitting here watching the commercial like, Jesus fucking Christ. And no one picked up on it. And I was laughing like, holy shit. It's like these executives, they don't have any interactions with anyone else but other like rich people. So they don't know how to, it's like they don't know how to talk to other human beings who earn less than 6 figures a year.
Well, on that specific note, the point of contention and fact here is the fact that if you're a multimillionaire in the upper 10%, so you're in the 140 to 1 billion, because billionaires are also counted into this. You have more in common with your own socioeconomic class than you have with anyone else in your country. So,
except for our president.
Well,
that's the thing.
I think a lot of that is bread and circus shows that he does.
No, look, bro, I'll be completely sincere with you. My father met the man at least 3 times.
Okay.
My father was a construction worker. He poured concrete for the local 282 International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Okay.
My father, he had when he was working the site, he was working on the World Trade Center. He was the one who did the pour for the foundations for those buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So when Trump went to do Trump Tower, he asked the union, "I want that driver." So he got my father. He liked the business. He liked how my father did the pour because my father was the only one who could do it specifically up to code every time. there's a specific thing. You have to pour the concrete a certain way. Look, I was always the guy who did like the schlep work. I don't know the technical end of the union shit, so I don't know. But the old man was pretty much like one of the top. He was the top driver in 282, and so Trump he requested him for Trump Tower. My father talked to him for about a good solid 45 minutes when he did Trump Tower, and because of him doing Trump Tower, he wound up doing every other building he had in Manhattan. And I'm about 95% sure he did the Taj Mahal, because I remember him bitching about dealing with the DOT when he had to go over the bridges to get into Jersey. But he did, I'm pretty sure, a few of his casinos also. Now, it was because my father started working for the man that my brother-in-law wound up doing Trump's floors and carpeting. He's an Arab. For anyone who's listening, it's called Britannica Floor Coverings and Carpeting. They're located in Nassau, New York, and I'm doing a commercial here. And they're willing to they do commercial and residential, but. You know, and my brother-in-law was an Arab. Again, that our president is racist. But I'm saying this for a point. You see, whenever there was a job, there's my neighborhood, and I will show. I'm going to send you the videos later because I love showing people this. My whole neighborhood has worked for the Trump organization for the past 40 years. They're all his plumbers, his electricians, his carpenters, his carpet mechanics, the guys who do his insulation. You name it, they do it. And every one of them, when I talk to them, and including my own father, my brother-in-law, they all tell you the same thing. Anyone they ever worked for, any one of these buildings they put up in the city, he was the only one. He was actually down there checking to see what was going on, talking to the contractors, talking to all the different people that were working there. He was actually invested in this. I refer to our president as a blue-collar businessman. I don't think so much as bread and circuses. He's a true New Yorker, and you got to get down there and talk to these people and see what's going on is what it is. And this is, you know what I'm saying? This is a guy like...
I don't ever recall saying that he was racist. Was that also... Yeah. Was that also directed at me, or was that just as an aside?
No, that's an aside. None of this was actually addressed at you. I actually was just using what you said as a springboard to go off on this tangent. I apologize.
I'm up to speed now. Sorry about that. I was following it like this is a direct rebuttal. I'm like, wait, I never said that. I don't think.
No. I'm just laying it all out because you gave me the opportunity.
I got you. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No. It's quite all right. I'm just saying, like the thing of like with the thing of it is, he's a blue-collar businessman. This is, I tell people all the time, you're looking at, I would say it's middle-class millions is what this man has garnered over the years, because he dealt with people on a level. Like, he was providing houses for people, and people couldn't pay the rent. Okay, why can't you? Well, the union ain't paying me that much. Okay, well, let's talk. Like, you know, he actually, well... If I'm making houses and people can't afford them, why can't they afford them? Well, the union ain't paying them wages and this, that, and the third. Okay, so he started looking into like making shit more affordable, and he was one of the first ones that said when the homeowners associations. Now this is the thing, they accused Donald Trump in the fucking 80s. I'll never forget this. They accused the man of blockbusting, and what blockbusting was. Is you had a block that was basically all white tenants, and you moved black people in. It was to reduce the property value so you could move these folks in, and so you could take over the area. That's the actual term they would use, because you're busting up a block. And he used to get accused of this. And he said, and I'm glad the man said this back then, because it wasn't popular, and it's what they all pay lip service to now. And he said this. And I'm paraphrasing him. I don't give a fuck what their color is. If they got the money, if they're decent people, if they got it coming in, they got a steady job, who cares if they're black? Let them fucking live here. And I like that because, look, my thing is this, and I'll say this till the fucking cows come home, and I've gotten into arguments with nationalists, I've gotten into arguments with fucking supremacists. If your money is long and green, if you're a decent human being, I don't give a fuck if you're black. I don't give a fuck if you're white. I don't give a fuck if you got a dot in the middle of your forehead and a fucking diaper wrapped around your head. You're allowed here. That's how it works.
I think you're talking about a very specific type of nationalist, because I'm a hyper nationalist. I have nothing to do with that at all. I just think America is the best fucking country on the planet. Period.
Oh no, I'm talking like I've talked to, when I say nationalist, I'm trying to be. I don't want to say white nationalist or white supremacist, because you tell people that you've actually broken bread with these people to find out what's going on in their head, and that means you drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh,
the thing is this: I will talk to.
Is it grape Kool-Aid?
If I can find it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm going to cut in for just a second because I got.
So what you're saying is we're trading in the mystery machine for a Panzer, right? That's what.
I like this old clunker.
Well, I find that to be rather amusing because nobody has a problem if Vox or if Vice Media, for example, does a 3-month in-depth deep dive into the white nationalist movement or Black Lives Matter, which I view as a black nationalist movement. I don't see a fucking difference there. You know, and that's celebrated. But if you just sit there and actually talk to actual nationalists, they will accuse you of being, you know, a white nationalist or a racist, and you haven't even got to talk to the white nationalists yet. You're just talking to nationalists.
Yeah,
it's really weird how that fucking works out, because I don't understand that. Because I mean, I'm sorry, I am a nationalist. I think America is the best. I'm glad I live here. You know, I mean, my parents went through shit to come here and actually, you know, attain citizenship and do all that crap legally. I mean, I'm a first-gen American, so I wear that shit on my sleeve. You know, that's a big
should. Oh yeah.
You know? And I don't understand why it's something to be ashamed of, or it's a negative thing in any way, shape, or form, and I refuse to accept that. So that's the only reason why I'm pushing back, because I really hate the confounding of terms, because it changes the entire meaning. I mean, that's the shit the Europeans do all the fucking time that pisses me off. For some reason, you cannot be a nationalist at all, because it's the same thing as being a racist, and it's not. You know, and because of that, they argue for a world government, unified European Union. Let's get an army to stand up to the United States and start another Cold War. Are you fucking retarded? Like, do you realize how dumb that's going to be? Like, oh my god. Like that could be an entire live stream, because I will bitch about the fucking Europeans and add on into infinitum, because I cannot stand that.
We should be friends, sir.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually I misspoke, but I'm glad I misspoke because it gave you a platform, and I'm glad I did that. No, not a problem.
I find it absolutely frustrating, because there is a huge difference. And what is the matter with taking pride in where you live? I mean, I'm sorry, out here we actually do spend a lot of time and effort on our you know, neighbors and neighborhood. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with that, and denigrating it actually creates shittier fucking neighborhoods, and shittier goddamn people live there because they don't care about each other. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? I really don't understand that entire mindset. And yeah, that got me a little lit, so I'm sorry about that. Like, whoa, you rubbed me the wrong fucking way there, dude. What are you talking about?
No, I'm glad I misspoke, and I'm glad that I'm so glad you jumped on me about that, because that is actually a topic that needs to be addressed. It's one of those things, like, you know, and I shouldn't have said it specifically, like you said. I shouldn't say it as such a throwaway. I should clarify. You know, I was speaking specifically, like, I have talked in the past with these white nationalists. If I could find black nationalists to talk to, I would rap with them 100%, because I want to hear what the hell they got to say. Like, I talk to a lot of these white nationalists, and a lot of it is, granted, you are going to have a lot of these folks that are just set in their ways, but a lot of these folks are ignorant. And it's not anything I can hate on them for, because they're from different parts of the country than, you know, I am. And where they are, they're seeing things a certain way. And I tell them, bro, get in your car. Get in your car and go 500 miles in any direction and see things differently. Yeah.
Absolutely.
See things differently, because my thing is this. I don't identify with the white nationalists. I don't identify with the black nationalists. I don't identify with anything, because I identify as an ethnic. My father was a Sicilian. My mother was Irish. Their parents were immigrants. I'm second generation myself. We've only been here since the late 1930s. It's one of those things where I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to throw my lot in with either or any group, I'm concerned about my country.
Yeah.
Like, I'm concerned most about keeping my country the way it is. And when I say the way it is, I'm talking about the laws. Like, one of these things, I was raised to look at the founding fathers and appreciate them. None of them look like me. None of them have vowels in their names. And I was raised to say, who the fuck cares? Like, seriously, who fucking cares if they're white, if they're Chinese, or if they're black? They founded the country. It was over 200 years ago. The fuck you got to make it about you? That's the thing I have a problem with Black Lives Matter, and I have a problem with these new white identity movements. Because everyone I talk...
the entire thing is identitarianism. And
it's narcissism is what it is.
Well, that is a valid argument, but the actual ideology is identitarianism. And the thing that gets me about it very specifically is it's a never-ending purity spiral once you start. Because, I mean, okay, this is for a thought experiment here. Nobody tear my fucking head off. But for a second, let's say I'm an ethno-nationalist, a white ethno-nationalist, right? So we're going to start by purging everyone who's not white, okay? Now we're going to go through and purge people who aren't completely white or aren't white enough or from the wrong white countries and on and fucking on. It never ends. Like, that's why I think it's absolutely retarded. I really hate the denigration of actual nationalism, because without being proud of your country and without actually sacrificing for your country, why join the military? Why join the police? Why pay your taxes, for fuck's sake? I mean, why do any of that thing? Because you're supporting a corrupt and evil organization by doing it. And I find the entire thing to be morally bankrupt to even start that line of thinking.
Well, I'll tell you right now, and you guys know, because I've told you, obviously, where I'm from. I actually go up into different neighborhoods and I talk to folks, and I'll tell you right now, these fucking lying liberal bastards are full of shit, because the one thing, whenever I go up into every black neighborhood and I talk to everybody, they all say the same thing to me. They hate affirmative action, and they'll tell me the same thing. Why the fuck do they got to put a curve in there because they don't think we're smart as white people? And it's the God's honest truth. Why the fuck do we need affirmative action? What the fuck is that for? You know what I look at when I see affirmative action? You're being lazy. You don't want to show that you fucked up the black schools and they're not learning as good because you put in this affirmative action shit so they can coast, because you don't want to sit there and deal with this shit, because then you can sit there and lie down the road and say it's some cultural shit when it's you being fucking lazy and lining your goddamn pockets and not putting the money into the education you should be putting. That's my fucking problem.
I want happiness now. So, who wants to see a real life Rickroll?
Gladly. Yeah, let me alt tab, check this out. This is Macy Day played, Rick rolled. Let's see it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Be right back.
The Foster Pals are singing My Best Friend, and they get Rick rolled.
Oh, it's a few seconds back, but when they showed that corner over there, that deli has the most kick-ass Caesar wraps. I'll be right back.
Music stops, and out comes fucking Rick Ashley.
That's funny.
And he starts singing Never Gonna Give You Up.
Never gonna give you up.
He's not there yet. He's actually starting from the beginning.
How you gonna Rickroll Foster's?
Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert. I hate Rickrolls, but I like this one.
Oh, I don't have a problem with Rick rolls for the most part.
I know
pretty well.
I think it's sad because, like I said, as popular as that song was when it really first came out, now that's what it's really known for.
I remember when it came out.
Yeah, because it was popular. It was popular then, but anytime you hear about this song now, like, oh yeah, the Rick roll.
The fucking cheese popping out with "I like Rick rolling."
Jeez. Cancer, pure unadulterated cancer. Rick Rolly, that's painful.
Oh.
Okay, I just had to show that to everyone.
I can't remember the last time I watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, man. It was like, I don't know, it's like I stopped at a certain time because they started getting a little too ugh.
They have a Goku balloon at the Macy's Day Parade.
I saw that.
They have a what balloon?
A Goku. Here, I'll screen share again.
Awesome. Goku. No, see, the thing that I like about that is like I grew up on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, but this is like what this? Yeah, this is the teal hair.
But the thing I find
amusing from Dragon Ball Super, hell yeah.
Okay, well, Dragon Ball Z, well, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z inspired the creator of One Piece. Then it's turned around and inspired yet another creator that I happen to like, who does Slime Tensei. And the thing that I find amusing about the entire thing is that if you watch it, you can actually watch the generational takes from each one. And
that's exactly what I like about it.
Nice.
The guy holding the camera screaming, "It's Goku! It's Goku! It's fucking Goku! Goku! Goku!"
I like the fact that it follows from when he's a child all the way up to when he's a grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you guys finished Super yet?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
What do you think? Did you like it? Were you impressed?
Oh, I am really glad that the artist needed more money and came out and decided that GT was total shit. Let me fix it. Like that part was fantastic because I
realized the way they did it, GT can technically still be canon because the way they did the timeline for Super, it could technically take place before GT. As garbage as GT was, don't get me wrong.
Excluding the fact that they don't go Super Saiyan 4, no one ever mentioned Super Saiyan 4, and they completely wipe it down the memory hole in the story. Yeah, sure, it possibly could be.
I think we lost a lot of people who aren't following, like, Dragon Ball.
I'm sorry.
Fuck them. They're normie faggots. They don't matter.
No, I know a little bit about anime, but not much. But I know about Dragon Ball Z and shit like that.
You know, I will give it to GT. They
I'm
did give us the golden Uhuru
too, as we speak.
You know, we got that golden Uhuru. That giant, super fucking golden baboon. See, you know what it was? I remember when I was a kid, we got all Dragon Ball GT back here in like the 90s when it first came out, all in Japanese, dubbed in bootlegs. And we got all the Bandai toys and all that shit. And I remember sitting here for like, I'm waiting for the translations because I want to know what the fuck is going on because I can't read kanji.
Is that the bootlegs actually were pretty accurate considering that, you know, they were done by some dude in their fucking basement. In that regard, it was pretty damn impressive because, like, I'm young enough. I remember getting most of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z off fucking Napster. Like,
oh my god!
Oh damn!
Oh yeah, internet without a condom, right there, dude. Holy! Like,
next you're gonna be whipping out LimeWire.
Oh, LimeWire came after Napster.
I was getting ready to say LimeWire.
Like that shit was dangerous, man. Holy Christ!
Oh yeah,
I know. I can't even tell you how many computers I blew up.
Yep. Like, oh, I'm gonna get this new album. Boom. What happened to my computer? No.
I have to say, when I use LimeWire, I never got a virus on my computer. I never fucked the computer up.
Bitch. God,
I'm old enough to admit it. I'm gonna be 40 this spring. I was on that hacker shit, so I immediately thought that I was gonna be some sort of super hacker. Oh my god, all the computers I blew up. I am so fucking amazed that DOD did not show up at my house with their badges out and a warrant because of the crazy shit I was doing.
Scooby's gonna be the next Walter O'Brien. He's gonna hack the DOD.
You know, the sad thing is though, after they started changing everything with Windows like Vista and all that other shit, and it got confusing. And for a few years, I was without a computer. I tried to hop back in. I can't understand any of the new shit. I'm looking at this. I'm like the computer I got now. I'm looking at the screen like, what the fuck is this new Windows? Like, I'm completely lost.
And I argue with people quite a lot about Windows 10. Windows 10 is a lot like Windows Millennium or Windows 98, where if you have the right computer build and everything's, you know, basically sanitized enough with freeware, it works gloriously, and it's exactly how it's supposed to. If you have a custom built machine, good fucking luck with Windows 10. Like, it's not gonna like it. Like, oh, you have some third party Taiwanese card. Well, fuck you. It's not gonna work here. You know, suck a dick. Enjoy. Bye.
You know, we had this young kid we were always streaming with at one point, but he got really busy with school. And I said to him, he said to me, so I said to him, I said, when I started college, we were using Windows 95. And he said to me, why the fuck were you using Windows 95 in college? I said, because I started college in 97. And he goes, oh. I said, yeah. I said, so the thing is, you know, I've been using these different programs the past few years, and the newest iterations of Windows, I can't seem to figure I can't understand what the fuck I'm doing. All the new stuff that they added to it, all the new screens, it confuses the shit out of me. And unfortunately for me, I just don't have the time to sit here and play with the computer for, like, you know, 2 weeks straight to reteach myself what the fuck is going on. Like, they came out with screenshotting. I didn't even know that the shit existed till people started showing me, like, DMs and shit. Like, you were in a conversation that said I was an asshole. Like, oh, okay. This is new.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things that's a major shift is that from Windows 95 and the Windows x86 kernel, which is all the way up through to Windows 2000, uses that kernel, which is what the operating system is built on. For any non-geeks in the call, that's all MS-DOS based, and then they switched over to a Unix core for their presentation. And a lot of things had to change because it's an entirely different way of approaching the exact same problem. So because of that, like, a lot of things that did used to make sense just don't because of that. And like the Windows keys are still bound the same way. So if you were somebody who used hotkey keyboard shortcuts like I do, it still works regardless from Windows 95 up. But a lot of other things within the operating system core changed just because it had to. And because of the changes made, there were a lot of additions they were allowed to add, but I don't know. I mean, like, just the fact that it has to integrate with your tablet and your phone also changes things a lot. I mean, because of just how, like, portable devices work versus a home computer. I mean, most of those are all form factor built, and you can't build a tablet, you know, a la carte wise. You can't order the screen and, you know, the actual CPU, the processor, or any of that shit by yourself. I mean, you know, you have to buy one made by, you know, Nexus or AT&T or fucking, you know, whoever, Apple. And because of that, it does make it a lot slicker in what you have to do. So there's a lot less of the just make it yourself builds, because a lot of things have been more or less streamlined into a particular fitting.
Oh my, we have a Captain Brambles in the chat. Hi, Captain Brambles.
Hey, Captain Brambles.
Holy shit, my mic was on. Did you guys hear any of that shit?
Not a goddamn thing.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. All right.
What did you do? Get laid?
No. Just deep, drunk conversations with my mom.
What? Those are always the best kind.
Captain Brambles has actually been commenting on a lot of my tweets, especially the one that I posted about my roommate's kid.
He'll probably be a good kid. You got to keep him distracted. My advice is get him books.
Yeah.
The little bastard hates reading.
Well, teach him to love reading.
I'm trying to, but, you know, it's kind of hard when, you know, all he wants to do is sit in front of a fucking TV. I say take the TV out of his bedroom.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, you shouldn't have a TV in the bedroom. That's actually bad for you. Because you'll watch it while you're laying down, and it won't let your brain down and sleep.
That's what a lot of people tell me. I can go to sleep with the TV on. It's not a problem.
Well, then you are the statistical minority in that regard.
Me and Tara both, because I hate to admit this.
It doesn't change the statistics just because of two anecdotes.
Right.
No, but it's
well,
it's a significant minority. It's like 15 to 20% of people aren't bothered by it.
Yeah.
But like reading, I'm sorry, if you hate reading, oh, you need serious help. You're beyond my fucking ability. I'll read, like, you can tell that I'm drunk, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go read before I go to bed. And if I don't read you in my drunken state because you just don't feel like it, you need something else that I cannot help you with.
Now, for me, I haven't been reading anything only because all my books are packed up right now. But
I can't stand the television. I can't stand the television or the computer. If I'm not talking to any of you, I do not like using this fucking device. I'd rather read a book. If I don't have a book handy, I will read something off of like Wikipedia or something. I grew up with my father he didn't like the shit that was coming out of the radio, so he removed the radio out of his van. He didn't like the shit on the TV, so he just called up cable and told him, go fuck yourself, get this wire off of my house. So, like, I grew up with books because the old man did not like any of the bullshit that was coming out. And they said that they actually had oh my God, they actually asked him, poor Cablevision, they asked him, well, sir, why do you want to get rid of our service? Well, you reelected that shit-kicking hillbilly from Arkansas. What the fuck do I want to hear any more of that filth come through my fucking TV? This is when Clinton got his second term. So my father got rid of the television. He's like, I don't feel like hearing that bullshit. So he literally got rid of cable. We had no TV for like Clinton's second term. He did not want to watch it. He was fed up. You know, he removed the radio out of his van. I go, what the hell are you removing that out of the van for? It's all lies from Israel. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'm actually calling it because I have to get up early and take my roommate and my neighbor to work, and then take me and the dog to my aunt's, and then I'm going Black Friday shopping.
Lies. All lies.
Oh, I completely forgot tomorrow is Black Friday. That's so awesome. I got to go there tomorrow. I got to go there and tell them that they sold out.
Oh.
That's the only reason I go to Black Friday. Go there, go to Walmart, tell them everything's $20 cheaper down at Walmart.
Oh my God.
You go to Walmart and tell them it's cheaper at Target. You tell the people at Target it's cheaper at Walmart.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. It has been an enjoyable conversation.
All right, give me a second. I'm getting ready to have everything for the show. My brother has jack shit to show, so we'll go to Irving.
I'm a twin. I occasionally scream into the internet about what's wrong with Canada, but I have not made a video in more than 2 weeks now, so don't even bother with me right now.
Is that a good sign?
No, that's a bad sign.
It's just me being lazy, yeah, and feeling defeated. Move on.
All right. I can't remember your name, so Maestro.
Yeah. Well, I do a morning show from 9 to noon. I stream that, and I get in lots of streams throughout the day. Check me out on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Stream.me is where I do all my streams. My YouTube is where if StreamMe's archive caches, I'll post. So check me out there. As I said, I stream every day, so plenty of new content all the time. It is a gaming channel because that's primarily what I do, though I have no problem getting political if the situation warrants it. So, yeah.
All right, Pops.
I got nothing. Be good to each other. Be thankful for, the shit that you got. Don't be an ungrateful prick. Happy Turkey Genocide Day.
That's so gay.
Sarah?
No, I'm good.
Scooby?
Huh?
Chill.
Oh. Hello, all. I'm Scooby331. You know the deal. You can find me here on YouTube. I am on Minds.com, Patreon, and PayPal. Please donate. I'm trying to get equipment so I can go film these communists in Brooklyn and Queens acting like lunatics. I am on Instagram. I have no idea how to use it, so there's nothing on there.
Oh, you have to post a picture and then you can say something.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not interested in that shit. Yeah, same thing. I do fucking cool. I got a few other sites that I'm on. I'm fucking with you, Kelp. I'll tell you what that means after I get off air. I know I got a few different sites I'm on. I just follow me on here, Minds. I'm on Gab, and yeah, look, I'm just like I said, I'm trying to get together equipment so I can go film these communists. If I can get a GoPro and I can get a decent phone to live stream, I plan on going up to Chuck Schumer and getting him to tell me to go fuck myself. So seriously, I will put this video up if I can just film it. I plan on going to Kristen Gillibrand and having her hit me with pepper spray or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I plan on going up to these Democrats and being a complete bastard. I want to have Robert De Niro try to like pin me down and claw my eyes out. You can help me with this, folks. Seriously. So hit me up on on my social media if you can. And I'll be putting stuff up here constantly. Just watch for me. I'll be streaming with these guys. Every one of these folks right here, they're the real deal. I ain't shit. I sit here and film things. You know what I'm saying? If I got a camera, I'll go out and I'll film. But you should check out every one of these people. They're the real deal. They're the real entertainment here. I ain't nothing. Don't worry about me. But, yo, I'm Scooby331. You guys can check me out in those places I mentioned. Thank you.
Your boy, Pat.
Hi, what's up, everybody? I'm your boy Pat. You can check me out. Like I said, I'm also on the Twitter machine, and I have a YouTube channel, which my content has like changed up a little bit, like bringing a lot of entertainment. I still do like political and social videos and commentary about certain issues, but now it's like I'm throwing like a little entertainment up in there, like like every Mondays I'm bringing like certain topics I'm talking about on the part that I call like let's talk about this, and then Wednesday I'm doing like my little Psycho Rick impersonation, like and another thing I call the Psycho Realm, where I'm taking like either true crimes or creepypastas or scary stories and just doing that right there. And plus, I have another one where I'm called Messing With, where I take some of my favorite like YouTubers and people that I know, and I just start joking around with them, try to bring like a little funniness and happiness back into like YouTube, because things are getting like a little serious. A lot of people I know who have been kind of fighting with each other and shit like that, and plus all the political stuff has been getting to my head and kind of driving me crazy, so I have to do something. Plus I also I got like a little GoFundMe going on myself because I'm trying to build up funds so I can take a trip to go
Throw
see
that back in the
people.
chat, by the way, Pat.
I will, like I'm trying to take a trip and things like that, just go see people like Tara and all that right there, to get out of Texas for a little bit, and that's just me right there.
Bring me to Texas.
Well,
So,
folks,
yeah.
yo, hook him up. Seriously, hook him up, because he's going to go visit Tara. He's going to come up here, and I'm going to show him around New York, and then he's going to show me around Texas. So definitely hook him up, folks.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a lot. I'm trying to get a lot of funds for that. In return, I'm providing like entertainment as best as I can, and also doing requests to people who send in donations, should they need that extra voice. But that's me right there. Check me out if you can.
And I am Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch. You can find me on pretty much any social media except for Facebook. You can find me under the name Ambrosia Locke. That's Locke with an E. Thank you guys for joining us for our special Thanksgiving Day show. I'll be doing another one for Christmas. Still on my hiatus until I get my medication sorted out.
I'll run Christmas. Don't worry about Christmas. I got that shit.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night, all.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.